The number one rule in creating success is to show up, to merely just show up. In fact, it's been said that 90% of all success that people encounter is about showing up. Just show up, folks. You ever known someone that got lucky a lot? You know what they did? They showed up. You can't get lucky if you don't show up. So suit up and show up. All highly successful people know that they have to show up. And that's what they do. They just keep showing up. What does showing up mean? Hey, it means simply getting out of bed in the morning, you know? Sometimes when you don't want to get out of bed, you just get up and get out of bed. Nothing comes to someone that sleeps except a little rest and a few nightmares. Get out of bed in the morning. Put your clothes on. Take a shower first. Put your clothes on. Go to your place of work. Make the phone call you need to make. You know there's a call sitting there right now that you need to make. And you're wondering, what should I say? Just make the call. You'll figure it out. Call comes in, take the call. Customer walks up, address the customer. Show up, folks. Just do the next right thing. You have an appointment coming in, show up for the appointment. Be there, be early. There's a girl you want to call, pick up the phone and call her right now. There's a guy you want to call, pick up the phone and call him and find out what's going on with him. You want to go surfing? Get a surfboard. I don't know how to surf, Grant. You don't need to know how to surf. Get the board first. Hit the ocean, you'll figure it out. You've always figured it out. You know, life has been around a lot longer than maybe you have, and maybe I have. Life has been around 23 trillion years, and you and me are life. You're designed to survive. You've survived everything that's happened to you in this life. You always have, you always will survive. So show up. You know, if I throw you in that ocean right now, you'll figure out how to swim. You know, you'll probably figure out how to float. You'll fight the water for a little while until you figure it out. Or you can sit on the beach and you can say, man, that ocean looks scary. You can put your toes in and feel how cold it is and say, I don't think I want to get in there. But you will never conquer what you don't move toward. Show up. Jump in the ocean. You'll figure it out. Only in the water can you learn how to swim. So show up. The only way you can't survive is to not show up. You know, people worry about, well, what if I fail? You're going to fail, folks. The more you fail, the more you've shown up. The more you show up, the more you're going to succeed. The only way to fail, really the only way to fail, is to not show up, to not take an action. See, if you don't move forward, you're not going to survive. And I don't mean survive as like get by. I mean survive to move at greater and greater, higher levels in your life. See, the greatest sin a person could commit is to not show up. The greatest overt action, the greatest mistake a human being can make is to not show up and not do. It requires a little faith. It requires some persistence to show up and to show up again and again and again. That requires persistence. And what it creates is discipline. See, the great secret to all success is to show up. When you don't make the move, you will tend to spiral downward. You become stagnant. You start feeling unmotivated. When you keep showing up, you feel highly motivated. When you're standing still, you're spiraling downward. You either go upward, folks, or you go downward. You don't stay the same. So show up. Too many people spend too much time planning, organizing, all in the name of not showing up, putting off the inevitable. Sooner or later, no matter how prepared you are, no matter how much you know, no matter how much you're organized, you organize, and no matter how good your office looks, you have to show up and do the task. It's my estimation that most people are over-prepared, losing their native instincts, losing their natural abilities, losing your spontaneity, your brilliance, those things that come natural to all human beings. You know, there's a guy working with me right now. He calls me up. He said, Grant, I need some brochures, man. I can't call on these clients until I have these brochures. And I'm like, hey, man, people don't buy brochures. People respond to people who show up and take action. The highest producing person in your office is the person that shows up the most, makes the most phone calls, takes the most phone calls, makes the most appointments, and shows up the most. What they've done is show up over and over and over again, and then they figured it out. See, the rest will happen. Luck will take place, failures will take place, and you will learn it. Learning, above all things, learning will take place. And you'll make your adjustments. You will learn to swim only when you hit the water. You can only learn to ride a bike when you get on the bike. To be successful, you have to show up. Showing up requires trust. It requires you to have some level of faith. The faith of a mustard seed. You ever heard that? The faith of a mustard seed. Showing up is an extension of having faith. Showing up is a manifestation of your spirit, of who you are, of the fact that you will always survive. The more spirit you have, the more you will show up. See, I have a lot of spirit, and the more I show up, the more my spirit gets large. So show up, folks. The more you choose to survive, to move upward, the more you will show up. It's like this cycle. I show up, I get there, something good happens to me, bang, I want to show up again. I'm motivated. And this is what this is about. This is about how do you stay highly motivated? 724 motivated, getting your goals, moving forward. First rule, show up. The more you show up, the more you put action in your life, the more your native talents, your skills, your spontaneity, and your brilliance will show themselves. Have the faith of a mustard seed and show up. Faith without showing up results in nothing. So you can have faith. I hear a lot of people, man, I got faith, Grant, and they stay in bed. Nothing will happen to a person stays in bed. Will not happen. Well, you'll get rest, your back will start hurting, your body will become lethargic, you'll wake up and wonder what happened to your day, but nothing good will come to someone that stays in bed. You can go sit on a mountaintop and meditate all day. You're not going to change the world on a mountaintop, folks. You're going to change the world by showing up. You must take action by showing up in your life if you want success. Showing up has created as much success and as much joy in my life as any other thing I've ever done. You know, when I moved to California, I was 35 years old, and I didn't know how to surf, and everybody around me was surfing. And I was in a group one day, and I was talking to some men. I'm like, I really want to learn how to surf. And a guy came up to me at the end of the meeting. He says, let's go get a surfboard. I'm like, what do you mean, man? I don't know how to surf. He's like, you don't need to know how to surf. You need a board first. And I knew that was right. I knew I had to get the board first, number one. Second thing I had to do was put it in the car. Third thing I had to do was drive to the ocean with this guy. I went into double overheads. Double overheads, for those of you who live in the Midwest, are waves that are about 10 or 12 foot tall. Twice my overhead. He said, well, you think you can do this? I said, man, I don't know. I've never surfed before. I said, all I know to do right now is I got my surfboard, I got my suit on, and I hit the water. And I went out. And I didn't catch a wave that day. I got wrecked all day. But you know what? Having 25 minutes of surf behind me in double overheads gave me the confidence, the motivation to get back in the ocean. Had I not done that, had I not just shown up, first to the group, to the meeting, second to the store to pick up the board, third into the ocean, you know, then I would have never learned to surf. When I was building my seminar business, my speaking business, my twin brother told me, he said, hey, when are you going to go out and actually sell tickets? It's like I had planned, I had organized, I had written the material, I was ready, but I wouldn't show up and get in front of a customer. He said, Grant, when are you going to do this? And finally I did it. After a year and a half of waiting, I finally did it. After writing a book called Selling in the 21st Century for a workshop that I created, I went out there and finally started doing it. And you know what I found out? I found out this. It was way easier. It's amazing. Once I showed up, it was easier than I thought. And that's when I started to learn what was necessary for me to succeed in that business. Only until I showed up. Not when I wrote, not when I organized, not when I planned. It was when I showed up, got in front of a customer, and went for it. You cannot have success without showing up. You can't even learn about success without showing up. See, without showing up, nothing else matters. Great products don't matter. Your enthusiasm doesn't matter. Your intelligence doesn't matter. A guy told me once, he said, man, I have a high IQ. I said, why don't you share it with someone? Why don't you get in the marketplace, pal, and share your IQ, your intelligence? Your ability doesn't matter. Luck doesn't matter. Hard work doesn't matter. Nothing matters, folks, without showing up. You can't win a lottery ticket until you buy the ticket. I'm sorry, you can't win the lottery until you buy the ticket. You got to buy the ticket. Well, he was so lucky, you know. A guy told me once, he said, man, you're so lucky to live here. I said, yeah, I won a number. I picked the right number, and they gave me this house, pal. The truth is, I got this house by showing up over and over and over again. So make a list today of all the areas that you need to practice showing up in your life. Where do you need to show up? Where have you been kind of retreating, introverting, pulling away from? Where do you need to move forward in your life? Show up, do it, and go for it. Maybe you need to go jump in that ocean and get a surfboard like I did. Maybe you need to make an offer on a house that you're looking at. Maybe you need to make a phone call that you're resisting, or call the boy or the girl. Make the move, folks. Show up. Go for it. Fail. Show up again. Fail. Show up again. Fail. And you know what? You'll figure it out. Just consider how many situations in your life you've already survived. You were born into the world, you survived it. You knew nothing when you got here. Well, some people would say you had a lot of intelligence, actually. You learned more, truthfully, in the first 3 hours than you've probably learned in the last 30 years. Look what it took to create you, and you got here. Remember your first day at school. You survived that. Falling off a bike, you survived that. Learning how to walk, you survived that. You learned how to breathe, to eat. The first time you got in a fight, first time you got cut, you got bruises, you healed, folks. You learned to adapt, you survived. First time your heart was broken, you had financial loss, you had criticism, you lost a deal, death, job, position, status, all the disappointments, thousands, millions of disappointments, and you've survived them all. All the failures each of us have survived because you showed up. So show up, take action, know that it'll be all right, and show up again. The second rule to success is the 100% philosophy. You got to hit the wall. That's what I call it. I hit the wall, Grant. Go all the way, go for broke. 100%. I wear this little pin right here. It says 100% committed. It reminds Grant, me, to be committed to my life at 100%, to my dreams at 100%, to my career at 100%, to my marriage. I'm not married, but when I get married, I want to be committed 100% all the way. When I'm having fun, I want to go all the way, 100% commitment, to the moment, all the way, hit the wall, 100%. See, I want to quit doing things halfway, folks. What about you? I want to quit putting part of myself into something, and I want to put 100% of myself into something. I want to go all the way. And if you had that philosophy, you would have success in such large portions that it would change your life forever. See, doing things part way never feels good as going over the top does. Go over the top. See, it's better to crash all the way than playing it safe. It's better to hit the wall at full blast than to hit it kind of just, because people will say, man, that guy hit the wall. You ever done that? Have you known people that do that? Some people think we're crazy. Man, that guy's crazy. He's a psycho. No, that guy, all successful people are somehow labeled like something's wrong with them. Highly successful people show up, folks, and then they go all the way. Later on, I can pull it in. Later on, I can get conservative with my resources. When you're trying to build success in your life, you need to go all the way. You need to take some risk. I don't mean financial risk. I mean some action risk, where you're at risk. See, if you are anything like me, then you start with nothing. You don't have somebody giving you money. How do you create success in your life? I didn't have anything. I had to show up. I had to go all the way. Because I found this out. Going 50% of the way got me nothing. Nothing. Going all the way, when you have nothing to lose anyway. So try this right now. For no apparent reason at all, I want you to just start applauding. I want you to start just clapping your hands to be alive. Go ahead and try that right now. All right? Okay? Now, you got it? What did that feel like? Was that 50%? Was it 75%? Was it 100%? I doubt if it was 100%. This time, what I want you to do, and I'm going to get the crew to help me out here. This time, I want you to go all the way. I want you to put your hands together and applaud for being alive. Because maybe you forgot about being alive and showing appreciation for it. This time, I want you to freak yourself out. I want you to go hit the wall and be 100%, and I want you to extend it for some period of time, all right? Let's go. Let's do it right now. Okay, go for it. All right. All right. Come on. Get it up. Get it up. You want to get it up right now. Freak yourself out. Okay? All right. Great. Now how do you feel? Just feel your body right now. Feel it. Do you feel different? You feel the energy running through your body? Man, I know I feel different. All of a sudden I feel, hey man, I'm motivated. I feel different. This is how you start your day, folks. First thing you do is you show up. Second thing you do is commit to saying, hey, I'm going all the way. I'm going to hit the wall. If I'm telling somebody at Starbucks, hey man, thanks for the coffee, then I'm going to pour it on. Thanks for the coffee. I was at a Starbucks the other day, told a lady up in LA, I'll never see this lady again. I said, hey man, that's a great coffee. I appreciate you making my cappuccino just like I like. Here's a tip for you. And by the way, you got great arms. Man, she just her whole beingness brightened up. I wasn't hitting on this woman. I was just saying thank you. And I was being 100%. And she brightened up, and the next thing I know, I brighten up, I feel better, she feels better, and we're both happier. See, people know me. My friends know me. I had a party here 2 weekends ago. There was 350 people at this house. You know why? They're coming for the party, man. They're coming for the circus. They're coming because they know Grant is 100% fully alive being, willing to go all the way, and anything could happen at this party. And I'm going for the excitement, for the possibilities. See, people like being around me because of that. You know, I remember when I was in school as a child, man, people were like a little worried about me. What will this guy do? I hadn't quite put my hands around being professional and being responsible with being 100%. I was just being kind of young and crazy. So what, man? You got kids right now. Don't introvert the kids. Let them go all the way, folks, because they're going to need it when they grow up, like you need it right now. I've never had people tell me, never, had people say, oh man, that's great you lived like that when I was young. They pulled me in. Now they're like, man, it's incredible that you live like this. See, I have to know that I'm going to be 100%. I don't feel good when I'm 50%. It's a great way to live to be at 100%. See, I know when I leave this house this afternoon, anything could happen to me. Anything. Because I know I'm going to be in it all the way. Because I go all the way. It's caused me problems in my life, too. I got to tell you, man, being 100% has caused me lots of problems, lots of judgments from other people, and I've gotten into difficulties. But I'm going to tell you, I'd rather have problems because I live at 100% than have the problems that you get from living at 25 or 50%. I'd rather learn how to bring it in than learn how to get it up. So go all the way, folks. What do you think will bring you the greatest success in your life? Come on, being 100% or being 50%? What do your kids need to learn about? You send your kids to school. Let's say the school system says, look, you can only learn how to read, write, count, or be 100%. Which class would you put them in? Which will they need in their life to create, abundance and prosperity in their life? What will make sure they survive at the highest level? It's not going to be reading and writing and counting. What would benefit them the most? What would benefit you the most? Learning how to be 100%. To teach your children and teach yourself to go all the way, you would change the world. If you lived all the way every day at 100%, you wouldn't just change your own life, folks. You'd change everybody in your circle, and they then would change everybody on this planet. So you got to be a model for your kids. Maybe you need to be a model for yourself right now. Maybe you could be a model for your friends and for the business that you work in. See, most of you teach your kids, be careful, don't get hurt. How many of you heard that as a child? Hey, be careful, don't get hurt, don't do that, don't make a scene, be quiet, don't talk like that, don't touch yourself, don't dress like that. And the whole world's been introverting you, pulling you in all this time. They've been lying to you, folks, because they don't want you to be big. So don't believe in the false data. Don't set yourself up to be disappointed in this lifetime. Teach yourself and teach your kids to get big. Teaching them to collapse themselves to be small means they'll never get what they want in their life. Just like it won't get you what you want in your life. If your kids saw you at work every day, would they see you operating at 100%? What do they see, folks? They see you at your business right now. Yesterday. Would they see 100% kind of show up? I don't think so. Would you want your kids to learn that? I wouldn't want them to learn that. I want my kids to learn, hey man, be 100%, go all the way. Even if it means you hit the wall, even if it means you look ridiculous, even if it means you get hurt or dirty, or you fail the grade, whatever. Big deal, man, go all the way. Hit the wall. Would your life be different? Absolutely, I guarantee it would be. What if you taught them to go all the way, every time, all the time, every time, in every situation? The whole world has been trapping you and not doing that. The whole world has been trapping us in what not to do rather than freeing us and saying, hey man, go all the way. So you can be different. Because of this today, go all the way. I choose to go all the way in my life, to be 100%, to wear this little pin, this 22 karat gold pin that reminds me, hey man, go all the way. And then I'll deal with the results later. I can deal with the outcome later. This doesn't mean I'm irresponsible, but it does mean I go all the way. It's caused me problems. I've already said that. People have said I was dangerous, irresponsible, a risk taker, crazy, ridiculous. Hey, maybe you need to be more dangerous. I'm going to tell you, I like being around dangerous people. I'd rather be around a dangerous person than a bored person any day of the week. Because I lose interest in bored people, do you? Dangerous is a great thing to be called, folks. Doesn't mean you be dangerous. It doesn't mean anyone's going to get hurt. But I'd rather be dangerous than be safe any day of the week. Going all the way will cause you problems. I guarantee it. I promise you it will cause you problems. Good luck with your problems. You need more of those kind of problems. Hey, does it look dangerous around here? Let me ask you. I've been dangerous for a while now. Does it look dangerous? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm loving my life right now. So if this is danger, I want more of it. Does it look like I've been hurting people to you? Does it look like I'm being irresponsible? Does it look to you like right now I'm taking too many risks or being crazy? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, hey man, be 100% with your enthusiasm. Be 100% in your marriage. Be 100% about your goals. You want to lose weight? Man, do it 100%. Show up every day and lose the weight. You want to walk every day? Walk with a 100% kind of attitude. I've made many mistakes in my life, folks. You know, I'm built to make mistakes. Because I'm built to evolve and survive. I'll figure it out just like you will. Hit the wall. You want to hit the wall before your competition hits the wall. Everybody's going to hit it, folks. You're going to hit the wall, okay? How many walls can you hit in your lifetime? I want to hit them all. I want to hit as many walls as possible. Because sooner or later, I'm going to go at something 100% and there's not going to be a wall there. There's going to be a success on the other side. Get up and go hit another wall until you figure it out, until you find the right path for you. One day, you're going to be going all out and you're going to do what I did and you're going to run into it. Bang. And you know what you're going to see? Not a wall. You're going to see massive success in your life and you're going to be ready for it because you went 100%. So make a commitment to your life right now to say, I'm going to be 100% from now on in every situation. Leave this today and go hit a wall. Be 100% in all your affairs. And dangerous is a great thing to be. The attitude of service is the third rule of success. Give, give, give is my philosophy. I wear this pen right here. It says give, give, give. You know, one is be 100% committed. The other is give, give, give. Nothing makes people feel better, folks, than giving. Not receiving a gift, but giving a gift. Nothing feels as good as giving. The more you give, the more you will get. Truth is, the more you give, the more you're going to have to give. Too many people worry about what they get rather than what they give out to the marketplace, out to your friends, out to your family, out to people you don't even know. The attitude of service, the attitude of helping, the attitude of caring, of wanting to assist, to support others, will bring you abundant levels of success. Too many people have their hand out. Hey, what do I get? You know, you go to get a job and you're like, well, what am I going to get paid for this job? What are the benefits of the job going to be? If you want that job, what you should do is go to that person and say, this is what I'm going to give you. This is what you're going to get when you get me. This is what I'm going to do for your profit line. Go into all situations with what you have to offer, what you have to give, what you can contribute to the world, and the world will open up the chest, the treasure box, and give you all the gold it has. Give, give, give. It is the attitude of abundance. The more you give, the more you will have to give, folks. I know I got a friend of mine named Willie. Willie comes from a poverty situation. Willie should have nothing based on what the world says to Willie. He should have absolutely nothing. That's where he came from. Willie's got about 1,600 apartments in Southern California. Willie's got abundance in his life. And I'm going to tell you how Willie got there. Willie got there because he committed to getting his life better. And number two, Willie got there because Willie gives everybody. He's one of the most generous people I've ever met in my whole life. If the pizza's $30 for pizza, he's giving the guy 20 bucks. He treats his life as though it's abundant, and he gets abundance in return. See, this needs to be genuine, this give, give, give thing. It doesn't need to be this fake thing. Willie's totally genuine, very genuine, sincere, and authentic. He cares about people. You know, I've done that in my own business. You know, my seminar business was about me giving meetings. I went and gave meetings to people, to businesses. I'd knock on the door. Hey, I'd like to motivate your people. Take me about 10 minutes to do it and it'll increase your sales. Really? Yeah. I walked in. I do a meeting for them. They like me enough. They want to do business. They want to give something back to me. It's a reciprocation. See, human beings can't be fooled. Beings cannot be fooled. If it's not real and it's not authentic, they'll know it. So you got to do it with intention from your heart to say, I'm going to give to people. I'm not worried about getting, I'm going to give. The universe is set up like that, folks. Spiritually, the universe is set up. The truth is, something goes out, something comes back in. That ocean out there, you know, you worry about the tide, or the tide's going to get me. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. It doesn't go one way. Same thing with giving. You give, someone will give you back. See, people know when someone truly cares. When I called on a business and said, I want to do a meeting for you, I want to get your people pumped up, I want to get them motivated, I want to increase your sales, they could tell I was genuine about that. The skeptical person, what's in it for you? Nothing in it for me, except I want to impress your people. I want to increase your business. And the truth is, if I can do that, you're going to want to do something with me later on. But don't worry about that right now. When you come from a genuine, giving, enthusiastic place of helping people, of making a contribution, man, the world will just kind of like step aside and let you have the box. Nothing is so attractive as someone who's positive and someone who makes a contribution. I don't mean people that just contribute because that's what they do because they got billions of dollars. I'm talking about people that might not have much. I'm talking about contributing, not money right now, but your heart. I'm talking about helping people out. I'm talking about passing a homeless guy and deciding, hey, why don't you give him something? Because what happens when you pass a homeless guy and you don't give him something? I'm not thinking about the homeless guy. I'm thinking about you right now. What happens is when you pass him, I'm not going to help him out. You keep the money in your pocket. You were thinking about giving him something, but you passed. You introverted. No, I'm not going to do that for him. This guy ought to get a job. And you start criticizing him, right? And then you walk away, and I guarantee you, the next 3 steps, you don't feel good about yourself. You introvert, you pull in, you withdraw. Truth is, all you had to do is reach in your pocket, give him something. You'd feel better. Forget about him. Would you feel better? A good friend of mine named Mike Porter, he came out of the restaurant business. 25 years old, he went into the car business. You know? This guy has reached incredible levels of success as a car person. Started as a restaurant guy, running a restaurant, went to the automobile business. Everybody told him, no, that's not a business you want to be in. This guy is making huge money, has incredible opportunities in front of him, possibly to be a dealer, okay? Because when somebody needs something and he's there, he's bringing it to them with a great attitude. He taught me about give, give, give. Somebody wants something to drink, he'd bring them a platter with drinks on it and ice. You know, he looked forward to an opportunity to treat a person like a millionaire. See, treat a person like a millionaire, they'll start spending money like a millionaire. Treat people like they don't have anything, and they're gonna what? They're gonna give you nothing. See, Mike's in probably the top 0.5% of all the people in his industry. Might be in the top 0.25% of all the people in his industry because he has mastered the art of giving. He gives all his customers complete attention. He gives his customers, you know, total enthusiasm. He gives his customers total service. He's not looking for a sale. He's looking, how much can I give these people? And in result, I'll get a sale. He modeled this to me, and I've built a career around it. Thank you, Mike. Folks, if you want control in your life, you can only control what you can master. And the only thing you can master is what you can give. Give, give, give. You give your customer service, they'll give you money. You want more profits? Give the customer what they want. Give them information. Give them brochures. Give them follow-up. Give them service. Give them a smile. Take care of them. Quit thinking about yourself all the time. What about me, man? I spent an hour with this guy and he didn't buy from me. So what? Keep investing in your customers. Invest in your community. Invest in the church you believe in. I know this. The more I give, the more I get, folks. It's a complete paradox. I was brought up by a family that really believed in, you know, like they didn't have enough. My mom was brought up in a time where she didn't have enough. My dad too. So it was like this scarcity mentality. You know, you got to protect what you have. You know, got to watch it. Be careful. Hey, the more I give, the more I get. The more I give that palm tree back there water and sunshine and nutrients, the more it grows. Would you agree? And the more pleasure I get from watching it grow. If you want loyalty from your customers, give your customers commitment. If you want loyalty from your people that work for you, give your people bonuses, give them information, give them motivation, give them training every day. If you want more production in your life, folks, give, give, give. Don't work harder. That's more false data. You got to work hard. People that work hard don't make money. People that work hard do not get successful. Study successful people. Highly successful people give money. They show up all the time. Highly committed. They learn. They take care of themselves. I'm not talking about people that just have money now. There's rich people that aren't happy. I'm talking about people that have it all. The more you give, folks, the more you will get. And you don't need to wait until you're rich to do it. Start giving now. In fact, that might mean more. Oh, Grant, what about the people that take advantage of me giving? Hey, man, you need to find more people to take advantage of you. You need to be out there all the time having people take advantage of you. Forget about who takes advantage of you. All you can do is, put yourself in a position to be at cause. There's cause and there's effect, right? I'm cause and this is the effect. I'm going to give and I'm going to get something over some period of time because I'm going to find people that can respond to that. Why would you focus on the people that take from you? Focus on the people that give back to you. Focus on your actions, how you can be cause. The more you will give, the more you give people, the more people will reciprocate and give back to you. I was flying into Milwaukee recently, and great story about how someone gave me service. I was 4 hours late, and 4 hours late, I missed my connection to Milwaukee. I got to get a car to drive there, and I got an early deal the next morning. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm upset. I'm like, God, my flight's late. I'm looking at all the negative stuff, right? I get off the plane. There's a guy there, Mr. Cardone. He's got a sign, Mr. Cardone. I'm like, wow, man, that's slick. He says, he's got a smile on his face, and immediately starts giving me stuff. He says, so let me get your bags. I'm going to try to get you your next connection so I don't have to drive you to Milwaukee. I'll lose a fee on that, but you know what? I'd rather you get handled. I'm like, man, I'm impressed. He says, if we can't make the connection, I'll get you to Milwaukee as fast as I possibly can. We run down to the next terminal. We have to go to another terminal and a gate to find out if the flight's left. We get down there, it's left. I just missed it because everything was late that night. The guy says, I'm going to get you to Milwaukee as fast as I possibly can. Takes my bags and starts running at full blast through O'Hare Airport. I'm like, I am blown away impressed. He don't know whether I'm a tipper or not a tipper. He just knows it's 1:30 in the morning. This guy's got, I got a job to do. I'm going to get him there, and this guy's got to be upset. It was a $350 charge to drive me to Milwaukee. Okay, I gave him $500, and it was the best $150 tip I've ever given anyone. You know why? He gave me more than I gave him. I wanted his card. Anytime I'm in Milwaukee, I'm calling him. Anytime I'm in Chicago, I'm calling him. Because the guy gave me high levels of service. What's interesting is the next day I'm in Milwaukee, and I have to take a cab back to the Milwaukee airport, which is only 3 minutes. The bill was $3, and I gave the man $3 because his attitude was bad, and he didn't give me anything. He's complaining about the length of the drive rather than what he's going to give me, which is a good attitude, give me service, give me a good clean car, give me a good clean environment with a good attitude. Man, I'll give you a tip. People will pay more for service than they will for your products. Remember this, folks. People will pay more for what your attitude is and what you give people and how they feel than they will for the products they're going to buy from you. So give, give, give. That's my philosophy. Give, give, give. I have a party in my home 4 or 5 times a year. Man, I don't drink alcohol. I just load people up with all the alcohol they can drink, and I'll get them a ride home in case they're too drunk because I don't want anybody to get hurt. I like giving back. It makes me feel good. Why do you give parties, Grant? Because parties make me feel good. It makes me feel good to see people enjoy my home. Give to your church, folks. Give to your kids. They say, well, kids need quality time. Hey, kids need quantity. You need quantity. Kids don't just need, I got 1 good hour with my son. Kids need lots of times. Give your spouse. Give to her. Give to your husband. Give to your customers. Give to your employees. Give to the planet. The more you give, the more you will get. If you want more money, you got to invest more money. You got to give more money. You need to spend more money. I know people that I have the first dollar I ever made. Hey man, you know how much more abundance you would have if you let it go? You can't just keep holding on to the treasure chest. You can't just look at what's in your bank account. You got to look at what you're contributing to the marketplace. If nobody spent money, nobody would make money, right? See, you get so attached, you don't make room for more. I did that in my life, man. I was so worried about the dollars I had in my pockets, I didn't make room for more dollars in my bank account. Ralph, a good friend of mine here in town, he told me he lives in La Jolla, and he told me he's in real estate, and he told me, he says, hey, the less attached I am to money, the more money comes to me. Incredible philosophy. The less attached I am to it, the more I give it, the more I get it. See, too many people, and I understand this because I've been like this, too many people get too attached to what they have, leaving no energy to focus on creating something new. The more you get focused on what you give, not what you get, the more you will get. So remember, one of the great rules of success is the attitude of service. Give, give, give. The 4th rule for success is to dream. Highly successful people dream. They spend a lot of time dreaming. I'm not talking about sleeping and dreaming and nightmares. I'm talking about focus on where you want to go in your life. Your dreams, you know, the things you've always dreamed of, the things people have been trying to talk you out of. Oh, that's too much, that's ridiculous. The things they don't want you to have, because that's what they want. They figure there's not enough room for it, so if you get yours, they can't have theirs. It's all false data, folks. Don't worry about it. Focus on your dreams. You get what you focus on. Your entire existence, whatever you have focused on, has happened to you. This is already taking place in your life right now. I'm not asking you to do anything different, because what you're focusing on right now is what you're getting. No person is happy without a goal. It is impossible. Well, Grant, you're highly goal-oriented. I said, absolutely I am, because you know what? I can't be happy if I don't have a goal. Look at the homeless person. They look happy to you? No, there's no goal. There's no job. Okay? No person can be happy without faith in their ability to reach a goal. It is impossible, folks. Management, salespeople, human beings, everybody walking the planet, understand this. Without goals, without hopes, without ambitions, without the attainment of pleasure, it is nearly impossible to be happy. Because my goals bring me pleasure. Would you agree? Security, if you're looking for security in your life, security only lies in a person's confidence in their ability to reach their goals and having those goals to reach. If you don't have goals and dreams, you can't be happy. If you don't have dreams and goals and things you're focused on, you will always feel like, well, man, what's wrong? You know, I'm just not like, how you doing, man? You know, it's all right, man. How's your career? It's all right. You know, because your goals and your dreams are missing. You're showing up for work. You work for the wrong people. Yeah, that's a fact. No, what I mean is you're not working for the right purpose, your dreams. Remember when you were a small child? Remember? All you knew with that Christmas was you wanted a bike. Your friends got a bike, and I want a bike, man. It was a bike for it was at least 4 months. I gotta have a bike. I want a bike, right? You know what? You got a bike. You didn't know how to ride a bike. You didn't know if you were gonna like the bike. You just had the complete, clear intention, I have to have a bike. You were determined. It's such a deep level. What happened? Come on, who's denied the bike? Nobody. Everybody gets their bike, folks. You got your bike. Everything you've ever wanted. Everything. Pick one thing you haven't gotten that you wanted, that you didn't give up on. You know, my brother, I have a twin brother who, at the time of this taping, lives in London. And he's in the gas business. He's basically the president of a gas company in London. Highly successful guy. He recently closed a $590 million deal. You know how big a deal that is? $590 million. Needless to say, he's highly successful, right? At the age of 40, he became the president of this major gas company in Europe. The guy's a multimillionaire. I asked him the other day, I said, hey man, you just closed this $590 million deal. What makes you successful? I mean, how can it be that you have this much success without pausing, without any lag in communication? He says, well man, it's simple, man. Simple, Grant. It's my ability to focus on my dreams and my goals. It's my ability to focus on what I desire, you know? I said, well, how do you do that, man? That's a great idea, but how do you do it? And he says, well, for instance, this deal that I just closed was a big piece of property that we bought that produces gas and oil. He said, I've had my eye on this property for 5 years. I said, yeah, okay, so what? He's like, well, man, I got a photo of it on my desk. For 5 years, I've looked at this photo. For 5 years, every morning when he walked in, before he left, he looked at this until it became reality. Your whole life, folks, you've gotten everything you focused on. Everything. See, if you want a different reality, you got to create it here first, in your mind. What you think is what you do. Where your mind goes is where you go. Remember this. You think it, then you do it, then you create it. You think it, you do it, and then you create it. That's it. You think it, you do it, and then you create it. It'll show up. That's how I create my reality. 14 years ago, by mistake, I ended up on this beach down here, okay, on this weird little trip I was on. We were here 5 minutes. Somebody no-showed us that we were supposed to see here in town. They no-showed us, and me and a friend of mine were here, and they said, why don't you go down to Windansea Beach in La Jolla? It's beautiful there. I said, okay, great. Grant, I'm sorry I can't spend any time with you. I had something come up, blah. So we went down there, okay? I remember looking right here on this corner. This man behind me was building his house a couple houses down. This is 14 years ago. I went home every day. I was so impressed with this part of the world. At that time, I couldn't rent here, much less buy a home here. I went home and every day I wrote down that I live in Southern California on the ocean. I live in La Jolla, California on the ocean, okay? And within 4 years, I bought a house here. 4 years before that, I couldn't buy a house here. I couldn't afford to live here. I couldn't have got a loan here. I couldn't have moved my business here. It was absolutely impossible. My ability to focus over and over and over and over on my dreams every morning and every night, that's what I do. I write my dreams down in the morning and I write them down again at night, created this house. It became reality. Everything that has ever happened to you, good or bad, if you could completely evaluate them, you created it. If you could objectively look at everything that's happened in your life, you would find out that you created. Nothing happens to you, to me, or to anyone on this planet that they didn't create themselves. Where you live, imagine, just consider how many things you've created. Where you live, you created that. You decided on it. Where you work, you created. Your physical condition, the condition of your body, you created it. You're the one that put the food in. You're the one that exercised. You're the one that didn't exercise. You're the one that did whatever you do to create your physical condition. Your mental condition, your health, your mate, your attitude, everything. Everything is created by you. See, you are a universe. A human being is a universe. I'm a universe by myself. Man, I got all this activity. I mean, if you studied something about the body and the mind, you'd understand I got this whole universe going on, down to neurons and protons and things I don't even understand. So that's very empowering to me. It's very empowering for me to believe, hey man, I create everything in my life. I grew up in Louisiana. I had pine trees in my yard. I had to clean those pine needles out of that yard every week, man. I got sick of those pine trees. I made a commitment, a postulate, an affirmation when I was 15 years old that I would never live in a yard with pine trees. I got palm trees all over the place. There must be 70 palm trees in this yard. I like palm trees. I pulled out all the other trees and dropped in pine. It's my universe. It's my yard. It's my planet. It's my life. And so it is for you. Let this be the motto you live by. There are no victims. There are no victims. Nothing happens to you that you don't create. There are no victims, only creators. You create everything in your life, folks. So you got to agree to that. For the formula of success to work in your life, you have to agree that you're the cause, that you're the creator, that there are no victims. You create with your mind. I create with my mind. Somewhere in the universe, you've agreed to what's happened to you to create your universe. You know, Barbra Streisand once said, Barbra Streisand, one of the great, entertainers of our time, said everything that had happened in her career, she saw in her mind before it happened. All great people talk about this. Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $20 million when he had 20 cents in the bank. He affirmed his dream to be wealthy. His third movie paid him $20 million. Tiger Woods, with a 2-iron, says, I'm going to hit the green, I'm going to be left of the hole, I'm going to be 4 feet away, from 220 yards away. He does the impossible with his mind. That's why people love watching him. People love watching anybody that operates at these higher levels. Almost like they're operating beyond human beingness. You create what you focus on, folks. Playing golf. You got water to cross. How many times have you hit it? Man, I don't want to hit the water, I don't want to hit the water, I don't want to hit the water. Bang, you hit the water. What'd you focus on? The water. You didn't focus on the green. Playing golf, you hit the water you focus on. You ever been skiing and you crash? You crash because you believe you would. It's almost impossible to hit one tree on a mountain, and you did it. You ever walk outside and see a customer, maybe they walk into your environment, you see a customer, and you say, I'm selling that customer. Bang. You decided to. Easiest sale you ever made in your whole life. Haven't these things happened to you? I know they've happened to me. Everything I think happens to me. When do you get lucky? Have you ever been lucky? I've been lucky. I'm lucky most of the time. I know people never get lucky. You know why? Because they can't get lucky. I'm not lucky. I'm not a lucky person. Good, they're not lucky, man. You know, you have beyond abilities, folks. You have abilities beyond your present belief system, and they're created in your mind. I believe I'm lucky, so I'm lucky. I walk into a casino, I walk in the Bellagio Hotel, and I tell the guy at the blackjack table, I am taking you down tonight, Jack. I am going to break this place tonight. It's a much better attitude, folks. No matter the outcome, that's a better attitude than to walk in and say, well, I'm going to only lose 300 and then I'm leaving. Right? Guy has on his bumper sticker, back bumper, okay, this is a dirty word I'm going to use right now, so if you're not prepared for it, just close your ears. On the back bumper sticker in America, all over the place, they have this little bumper sticker that says, shit happens. Stay away from these people, folks. These people are problem people. They're bringing bad things into their life. You know? Hey, good things happen too, don't they? What you dream, what you think about is what you get. Too many people, too many times people say, hey man, these weird things have happened to me in my life, you know? Life can be predicted with your mind. Everyone has the ability to predict. Everyone. Man, that was weird, man. I made that sale come true. That's not weird, folks. That is your natural ability. Everything you focus on, everything you dream of is what you achieve. Dream it, you will achieve it. Dream it all the time and you will achieve it. Intention is greater than the method. You need to write this down. Intention is greater than method. Don't worry about how to buy the house in the ocean. Worry about the clarity of intention in your mind. Focus is greater than strategy. Do not try to figure it out. Figure out where you want to go, not where you are. Don't figure out how to get there, figure out where you want to be. Look at the end, the outcome, the desire, not the way there. Because when you start looking at how to get there, you're going to get all confused. I can't do that. I'm limited to this. That won't happen. Focus on the outcome, the desire, the dream. With enough intention, with enough clear intention and dreams about where you want to go, the path, the method, the technique, the right approach, it'll just show up. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your goals. What I do is I write them down every day. People are amazed how many journals I have filled with writing down my dreams and my goals. What does that do, doing it every day? It creates a discipline for me. It creates focus. You know, there's a lot of turmoil going on in the world today. And you know what I do? I focus on where I'm going, not on the turmoil. I'm not watching TV, folks. I'm going to focus on where I'm going in my life. I fill my mind up with the photos, the pictures. I fill my office up with pictures of things I want in my life, of the dreams. I want a house in Italy. I want to live in Tuscany, Italy about 4 or 5 months of the year, every year. I'm planning the next 40 years of my life. So what do? I got a place in Tuscany I'm looking at. I keep a picture in my office. I'm going to Tuscany. Maybe you get a group of people that you can share with. Share your dreams with them. So in a group of people that can validate you, not invalidate you. The most successful people I know continue to pour energy, creativity. They invest time and money and focus in their goals. They aren't lucky, folks. Successful, highly successful people are not lucky. It's not a mistake. This is what they do. They think it, they say it, they do it, and they create it. Write your dreams down. Write them down every day and stay focused on them. And you will have success. You got to take care of your energy unit, folks. You want massive levels of success and you want balance in your life and success in every area, you need to exercise. So I want you to open with me right now doing some jumping jacks. That's right. Get up. Get out of your chair right now. Stop what you're doing. And what would this have to do with motivation? Everything. Come on, try it for yourself. Let's go. Everybody get up. Let's do 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3. I feel like Jack LaLanne right now. Remember that cat? He did pretty well with his life. All right, come on. Let's do it together. All right, you ready? 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, man, I need to get in shape. Do you feel different than you felt a few minutes ago sitting in your chair? Feel the energy in the room, folks. I know you guys are laughing right now. You're cracking up. You're making fun of each other. You're having exchanges. You're extroverting. This is about motivation. How do you stay motivated? If you're not getting exercise, if you can't change the temperature of your body, if you can't change your ability to feel stronger, if you can't at will change your state and your tone and your enthusiasm level, then you can't have success. Exercise is one of the easiest ways to do that. Certainly you feel different than you did just 5 minutes ago. I know you did. It's impossible for someone to do 10 jumping jacks and not feel different. This is how I start my days. You know, when I want to make the most of my day, I lay in bed, I get up in the morning, bang, first thing I do is exercise. I do 10 jumping jacks, man. Bang! Immediately, man, I'm into the world. I'm out of, oh God, today I got to get up, I got to do this. Immediately gets me out of my head, grounded in my body, my energy's moving around. I mean, I'm electricity. When the electricity stops working, you die. Body falls. There's still electricity. I don't know where it goes, but what I want to do is get that electricity moving all the time. I want to get to high levels of production. And the sooner I can get that happening in my day, if I wake up out of bed, get up, do 10 jumping jacks, I've created production. I've created energy. You can have financial success, folks. You can have status in your life. You can have lots of different levels of success in your life, but can you have longevity? Can you last? Can you have personal happiness in your life to go along with your success? To have that, you got to take care of the container, your body. You got to take care of your energy unit. That's what it is. This is a unit of energy. It holds energy. Everybody has lots of energy. Man, Grant's he's got so much energy. Everybody has lots of energy. But when you're low tone, you're bored, you're not producing, you're not going to operate with high levels of energy. You can control it. You can start it. You can change it. And you can stop it. You can start your energy level by just doing this. Bang, I'm going to get up right now. I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to do some sit-ups. You change your energy level. You start it, you change it, then you can stop. Okay, I don't have to keep doing this all day. The energy's now moving. What is exercise anyway? And how does exercise relate to motivation? Well, exercise is movement. I move, okay? This is movement. I move. I move my body, right? When I move my body, I produce. I walk, I run, I lift, I stretch, I do sit-ups or push-ups. Anytime you move your body, you create energy. And energy creates momentum. You get energy going this way, that ocean, that wave's coming in right now, it creates energy, right? And the more energy that is produced, the more production will be created. Production, you want to write this down, production, for everyone's life, production creates morale. Higher levels of production create higher levels of self-worth and morale. No matter what anybody tells you, oh, you need to feel good without doing anything. You know what? You will not feel good if you do nothing. If you sit home all day and don't do anything, I promise you, no matter how much you love yourself, you will not feel good about yourself. See, if I spend more time exercising the use of the telephone, okay, the telephone, I pick the phone up, I'm going to make a phone call. Bang, here's the phone call, I'm going to make the phone call, okay? The more time I spend on this phone, the more energy I produce. Would you agree? That's exercise too. The more production I create, the more morale I have. The more morale, the more motivated. It's a cycle. The more morale, the more motivated. The more motivated I am, the more I want to do something. It's really simple, folks. Success is really simple. Oh, no, you need to go to school and you need to learn this. No, you need to do this. It takes money to make money. Hey, all that is garbage. It is false data. It's lies that you've bought into. What you need is production. And production comes from the route of energy. Your body stores energy. And I'm not really talking body stuff here when I talk exercise. I'm not talking about, man, I look pretty good, don't I? Huh? For my age, I'm looking sweet. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about creating production, energy. Let's face it, the body is only a small part of who you are. A man told me that once. Hey, Grant, you're not just a body. And boy, it just hit me. You know, you ever been told things that just like really moved you? This guy told me, he says, you're not just a body. And immediately I knew he was right. This is not what I am. I am energy inside this. Energy. I am life. You are. Your energy and your life inside that body. And if you don't move the energy in the life, it becomes useless. So I'm talking about using exercise as a way to produce energy, as a way to produce life, as a way to create production, and therefore a way to create morale and motivation in your life. See? See, we're talking about creating the life you want, creating life. And you do that by moving the energy around. The more you move the energy around, the more alive you feel. Man, I feel alive right now after I exercise. Exactly, because you created life. See, do you want to be highly energized? How would you like to be highly, highly energized with endless amounts of energy? People are amazed, man. How can you start at 5 o'clock in the morning and have a party tonight and go to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the evening? Man, I got a lot of energy. Wow, I wish I had a lot of energy. You do have a lot of energy. I'm not some freak aberration of nature. We're all freak aberrations, man. We all got innate, abundant, endless supplies of energy. You just got to access it. How would you like to double your energy? Double it right now, okay? The answer, exercise. The more you exercise, the better you will feel, the better you will look. You'll act different, you'll be happier, you'll be more resistant to ills. Come on, let's face it, you know and I know, everybody agrees with this. Most illnesses are psychosomatic, they're all in the head. I think I'm going to get sick, so I do. The more you exercise, the more you will attract the right people in your life and success. The better you feel, the better other people feel around you. The better your customers feel, the better your clients feel, the better your associates at work feel, the better your employer feels, the better you feel. Folks, you're either moving as a living entity, you're either moving forward or you're going backwards. You're not staying the same. It's impossible. Nothing stays static. Nothing stays status quo. Don't believe it. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. There's no such thing as staying in the same place. It doesn't happen. It's impossible. The planet you live on rotates. It keeps moving. If it stopped, we'd all be in trouble. That means you're moving. Which way are you going? You going this way? Or you going backwards? Because you're not staying the same. Well, Grant, we had a good month. Really? Well, how good a month you had? Well, about the same as last month. Well, last month was record-breaking. This month is, about the same. Then you're going backwards, okay? Control the direction of your life with exercise. Start your morning with exercise. Find ways where you can get control in your life. It gives you the sense of security. Anything you can control, you start feeling secure about. Hey, man, I got control right here. Exercise is one way to start that. A simple way to say, bang, I get up, I exercise, I'm in control. You start actually tricking yourself into believing you're in control, just like you trick yourself to think you're not in control. See, you control your body. Without your life, there's no body, right? Without your life force, there's no reason to have a body. It's a vehicle. This is a vehicle. You're the driver of this vehicle, so get in control of it. If you had this great automobile, wouldn't you take care of it? If you had this $300,000 automobile, wouldn't you take care of it? Yes, of course you would. If you had $1 million thoroughbred horse sitting out in your stable, would you take care of it? Sure you would. Would you let it sit there and not exercise? Don't think you would. If you had a big Ferrari sitting in your driveway or a Bentley sitting in your driveway, would you not drive it? Of course you would. You'd have to get in it. You'd take care of it. You'd drive it. You wouldn't let it sit there. What's a Ferrari in a driveway? Nothing, man. Get it on the road. Exercise. Exercise your horse. Exercise your horsepower. Exercise the performance that you have in you, the performance car you have in you. Exercise is a way to control your sense of production in your life. Every day I wake up, every day I exercise. Keep it simple, folks. You don't need equipment and gyms. You don't need, to spend a bunch of money on this. Remember, all we're trying to do is produce energy. The body's secondary. The body will respond to the creation of energy. When you produce, you feel different than when you don't produce. It's simple. You'll even look different. People will say, hey man, you look different. What have you been doing? I've been walking every day. So one of the easiest things to do, maybe try this, is what I call 25-25-25, okay? It takes maybe 8 minutes to do this. I rarely spend more than 30 minutes working out. 25-25-25 goes like this. If I'm in a rush, 25 sit-ups, 25 push-ups, 25 deep knee bends. That's it. 25-25-25. 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, 25 deep knee bends. Maybe you want to try something like a 20-minute walk. Go for a 20-minute walk. If you can't do that, do a 10-minute walk. It'll get you feeling stronger. It'll get you more focused. Before we shot this video today, before we shot this series, one of the things I did, I went for a run this morning. I don't sit down and think, okay, what am I going to write? What am I going to talk about? I say, let me go for a run. Let me get the energy moving. See, there's basically 3 types of people out there watching this right now. Those of you who number 1, don't exercise at all. Go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah, I'm in there. Okay. Number 2, those of you who exercise sporadically, you're off and on. If you go on a vacation, you'll definitely exercise. Okay. Oh, I'm staying at the Marriott. I got to go use the gym, right? Got to get my money's worth. And the third group is those of you who are already committed to exercise. And I'm going to talk about all 3 of them. The first group, I want to encourage you to start walking every day. Take the stairs rather than the elevator. Walk more briskly in your work environment. Do jumping jacks every morning when you wake up. Consider the 25-25-25. That would be a simple way for you to start right now. Walk all the time, take the stairs, do 25-25-25, maybe go for a 20-minute walk and do it every day for the next 30 days and see if it doesn't change you. It will change you. It'll change your production level too. Now the second group, the sporadics, you guys need to get on a schedule. Get a trainer maybe, So you got a trainer 3 days a week and you commit to, doing something each morning. Commit to creating energy via exercise every day. Maybe get an exercise buddy. Make your exercise fun. Don't hurt yourself. Mix it up. I know a group here in San Diego, when they bring you into work for them, you have to go work out every day. That's how they create production. Makes sense? You own a business, you want to get people productive, you're bringing people in, you're training them your way. They make them exercise every day to get them highly motivated. The third group of you, those of you who are already into body development, the buffed out bunches of you with the big biceps and pecs. The body, remember this, the body is a small part of who you are. I don't want to give my body more attention than's necessary. I want to give my beingness more attention than my body. You are a being more than anything else. You're made of energy, creativity, you've been around a long time and you have the desire to produce and perform. Turn your exercise regimen into a production focus, not a body focus. How can you take your time in the gym and turn it into production in your professional life? How can you break through to another level of success in the same way you broke through with your limited beliefs about your physical condition? Take your physical workout into your professional life and say, I'm going to bust through in my life. I'm going to burst through. I'm going to make my life happen. Remember, exercise is merely movement. Movement creates energy. Energy creates production. And production is the basis for feeling good. So let's finish with another 10 right now, okay? It'll make you feel good and go out in the world, meet your customers, your clients, your employees, your employers, and your family and your kids, and you'll feel better. Thanks a lot. Food is fuel. The better the fuel, the higher you go. Stop eating and start fueling. Every time you say, hey, what time is it? It's time to go eat. No, it's time to fuel up. See, if people would fuel up more than eat, they wouldn't have to have diets. You know, all these people that try diets don't work. You know that. Everybody knows diets don't work, even the people trying them. It's the foods you eat, folks. What you eat affects your attitude. You know, this whole series has been about success. How do you create success in your life? Well, you create a lot of money and a great business, but you don't feel good. Maybe you're overweight, or you don't feel good about yourself, or you're not running with high levels of energy. It might be about the food you eat. It might be about the fuel you put in your body. You know, what you eat affects your attitude. You know, eat hamburgers and tacos every day. I'll promise you that you're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel possibly depressed, irritated, and definitely unfocused. See, if I put tacos in your car, it wouldn't run very well, would it? If I poured Diet Coke in your car, it wouldn't run very well. Consider that you have a high-performance machine. Consider this machine costs billions of dollars to reproduce. Consider that this machine is capable of producing incredible things and going incredible places. Maybe even this machine could change the world. What fuel would you give this machine? What fuel would you put in this very expensive, very difficult to duplicate, high-performance machine so that it can maximize its full potential? You're that machine. You know that you're capable of way more than you're doing right now. How many agree with that statement? That you're capable of doing way more than you are doing right now with your life. How many agree with that? I know I'm capable of more. Maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times more than I'm doing right now. See, I want to reach my full potential. I want you to reach your full potential. One way to do that is start watching what you eat. I watch what I eat. Not as a way of depriving myself. I've never been on a diet my whole life. Not as a way of, you know, oh no, you can't have that food, that's bad for you. But a way of treating myself in a way that promotes me into feeling good, to feel motivated, to feel successful. See, production makes me feel good. Production makes all people feel good. Creative, clear thinking makes me feel good. When I'm focused, clear, up, tone, I feel good. When I have lots of energy, I feel good. When I'm positive and I'm optimistic, I feel good. And when I don't eat well, I don't feel good. I remember when I was 26 years old, a number of years ago now, I was in pretty good physical shape. Every day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I crashed every day. And I went to a nutritionist. I went to a doctor first. Hey, what's wrong with me? And they start probing and asking questions, and they don't know what's wrong with anybody, because the truth is nothing's wrong with anyone except our attitude. And maybe what you eat, maybe the fuel, maybe the information you put in your mind, the fuel you put in your body, what you say to yourself and what you eat could be affecting how you operate. I went to a nutritionist. The guy said, what do you have every day at noon? I mean, it was so simple, it was incredible. I said, well, man, what'd you eat today, Grant? He said, are you tired today? I said, I'm wiped out, man, just so tired. At 1:15 in the afternoon, I'm wiped out completely. He's like, you do drugs? No. You do alcohol? No. What'd you eat for lunch? I said, man, I had a Reuben sandwich. He says, man, the Reuben's wiping you out, pal. How do you feel after a Thanksgiving turkey? Huh? How do you feel after having a big Thanksgiving dinner? Now, it's either you ate too much or the chemicals in the turkey, or both. You feel good? Do you feel good after a Thanksgiving dinner, man, when you can't move? You undo your belt, you're like, you sit on the couch and you go into a coma? That don't feel good. You ate so much you can't move, and you ate foods that are designed to drop you because they're loaded up with things that, put you asleep. Did you know that digestion takes more energy than any other activity involved in your body? Digesting food takes more energy than any other activity you're involved with on a daily basis. So the denser the food, the more energy it takes. High grease, high preservative foods with lots of additives take a lot of time to digest. Foods that have been dead long periods of time, that have been manufactured, fast foods, take a lot of time to digest and a lot of energy. That might be why you're lethargic. Might be why you're bored. Or, I'm bored. You're not bored, man. You're like weighted down. Mom told you, finish your plate. You remember when you were a little kid? Finish your plate. Eat all your food. Hey, you need to stop finishing the plate. I never, ever finish all the food on my plate. Me and Steve went to lunch today. I didn't finish my plate. I stopped when I was full. I leave food on my plate almost every meal. How many of you, finish it all, man, finish it all. How much can they give you? Would you eat that too? Come on, you're not going to have any energy left over, folks. Have you ever met a motivational speaker that was overweight? I doubt it. I doubt it. And if they are overweight, I'm going to tell you, they won't be motivating people very long because they're not going to feel motivated. People aren't going to follow them. Remember, I've never been on a diet my whole life. I exercise every day and I eat good foods. What I do is I trick myself. I eat smaller, more frequent meals more often. If you talk about people that exercise a lot and weightlifters and professionals, they say, hey, eat small, frequent meals. I eat 5 times a day, not 3 times. I eat 3 times, I'm starving between meals. So when I finally get to a meal, I got to get it now. This whole thing about lack and no abundance. Quit starving yourself, folks. Eat when you need to eat. To do that, you need to surround yourself with good foods. Let me tell you what my diet is. For any of those of you want to know what I eat, okay? This is what I eat. I eat anything I want. Okay? I got licorice in there right now. I go eat licorice. But you know what? I'm gonna snack on a piece of licorice. I'm not gonna eat 3 pounds of it. All right? I eat things like this. You're in my refrigerator, you're seeing cantaloupe, watermelon already cut up in big bowls. So it's easy for me to get to. You're gonna see a salad about this big and about this deep and about this round. I can go in there anytime I want and grab as much salad. I got every organic green you can put in a salad. I just go to the grocery store once a week and I buy as much as I can. I cut it all up at the same time and I'm loaded up with vegetables. I eat lots of organic proteins like turkey, mixed turkey, with basil in it. I can throw it on the stove. I can what do you do? What do you do with it on the stove? You get it ready. You cook it, right? And I can be ready on a quick meal. I don't go to McDonald's. I don't eat tacos. If I eat tacos, it's going to be stuff that's good for me, that tastes good. I drink lots of water. You know how much water I drink? I drink a half of my body weight in ounces of water every day. That's what they say you should drink. This is 6. I'd add 2 to this, and I'd have enough for a day. I try to drink 1 of these an hour. Keeps my energy good. A lot better to drink water than it would be to drink, say, this, your old friend, Mr. Diet Coke. I own a bunch of apartments here in town. This will actually clean the toilets. This will actually melt down a ribeye in 3 days. So what does it do to you? Come on, please. This doesn't belong in your body. I'll have a couple of sips of that a day. I don't refrain from drinking that. I don't drink 4 or 5 cans of it. I load up with water. I drink protein. I eat salads every day. I load up with fruits. You see fruits, vegetables, proteins, eggs. You see lots of water. So this is what I do. I wake up in the morning, I have a protein for breakfast. Okay? I exercise, have a protein for breakfast. I drink water throughout the day. I might have a small snack somewhere around 10 o'clock in the morning. At noon, I'm going to eat. I'm going to have protein or salad for lunch. 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm going to load up with fruits to get my energy, to get a natural sugar in my system. 5 p.m., I'm going to have another protein, probably a fish and a salad. I never, ever eat dinner after 8 p.m. I avoid pastas, breads, caffeine. I never drink alcohol. I won't do any kind of drugs, including, this might seem extreme to you, won't do Advil, won't do aspirin, won't do ibuprofen, won't do them, because they block my ability to think clearly. What's ibuprofen for? What does it do? It blocks the ability to feel pain, which is blocking a lot of other stuff, like to think clearly, to make good decisions. I don't want that in my system. Notice all things that are sold by the manufacturers, they make billions and billions of dollars of, need millions and millions of people to buy. They're probably not good for you. Anything that doesn't make me feel energized and clear-headed, I just don't do it. See, I want to feel good. I want to feel good before, during, and after the event. I'm not against anything, okay? I'm not like some kind of fanatic. Oh no, you can't drink this, you can't drink that, you can't eat this. I'm not a fanatic about foods, but I want to do things that make me feel good because I want to feel good about my life. So I keep fruits and vegetables readily available. I drink a bottle of water every hour. I eat smaller meals more frequently. I eat as much organic as I can possibly pay for, rather than stuff that's just, farmed. Foods today are different than foods were 50 years ago, folks. So you need to get a hold of the best foods you can. Food is fuel. Without fuel, you will be without energy. The better the fuel, the better you feel. The better you will perform and the more you will produce. And the more you produce, the better you're going to feel. So look at the foods you eat, change it into fuel, and put the best fuel you can into your great system that you have. What do you say to yourself when you talk to yourself? What do you say to other people? Positive self-talk is what this is about. Change your attitude right now with your thoughts and your words. What you think and what you say amounts to your attitude. Highly successful people have positive attitudes. Someone asked me once, hey Grant, how do you change your attitude? I mean, when you're having a bad day, don't you ever have bad days? Absolutely. I have days that are worse than other days. I have days when I feel better than other days. I have days when I go to work and I don't want to be at work. How do I change my attitude? Hey, here's the answer. Produce something. Almost any level of production will change a person's attitude. The idea of having goals and dreams, the idea of exercising, eating right, the idea of knowing where you're going is going to change your attitude. But what will change your attitude forever is what you think. Why is that? Well, what you think and what you get shifts your attitude. Go make a sale, complete a task, make a phone call, produce almost anything at any level. Go handle something you've been putting off, and you will finish it and feel better. Production, remember, production is the basis for morale. Thought, this is the formula for a great attitude. Thought plus language plus action equals a great attitude. The more positive thought, the more positive language, the more positive actions, the more positive the attitude. The more negative the thoughts, the more negative the language, the more negative the action, the more negative your attitude. So one thing you might want to note right now is I want to avoid any low esteem events. Avoid all low self-esteem creating events. Anything you don't feel good about, don't do. The language you use creates the attitude that you have. What you say when you talk to yourself creates your attitude. Hey, Grant, how you doing, Grant? I'm all right. I'm having this, my own little conversation. I'm doing all right. That's not a very good attitude, folks. And we're gonna look at that today. What are you saying to yourself when you talk to yourself? Because everybody, not just multiple personalities, everybody talks to themselves. And most of you watching this, you can relate to the multiple, personality conversation. You're having it right now. Hey, do I need to be here? Where else could I be? How could I be more productive? Business is bad, etc. So what do you say to yourself? What do you say to other people? You might want to take the next day or so and get a journal and start writing down every negative comment or thought that you have. And you will see why you're battling staying up because of what goes on through your mind. See, you ever heard this? Garbage in, garbage out. Whatever garbage is going in, data going in, is what data is going to come out in actions and words. The language you use is created by the thoughts that you have. If you think it, you'll say it, and then you're going to do it. That's why so many people try to change behavior, and it doesn't last. Because if you don't change your thought process, you can't change your verbal processing, and then therefore cannot change your actions. So you won't have a good attitude. Why? Good attitude comes from good production. The more you produce, the better your attitude will be. Me doing this shoot today creates a good attitude. I become positive. Me sitting in front of the TV and watching all the problems in the world will not create a good attitude. So, get a sheet of paper right now and answer these questions. Answer these in the way you would normally respond. How are you doing? How's your business? How was your weekend? Just write the first response you would normally have in a normal situation. Hey, what's been going on? Have you met anyone interesting lately? What are you doing this weekend? What do you think of this weather right now? Did you like the ball game you saw this weekend? And what's new in your life? These are questions you're asked every day. And every day you choose to answer them in a certain way because you think about them in a certain way. You answer them the way you think. How you think causes what you say. What you say is what you do, and what you do creates production or lack of production, therefore a good or bad attitude. Okay, so let's go back over your list. Let's check your list. Hey, how you doing? Normal responses from normal people is like, well, I'm okay. You know, I'm so-so. I'm fine. I'm cool. How's your business? How's your business right now? It's okay. It's up and down, so-so. How was your weekend? It's all right. You know, nothing special. No big deal. Nothing eventful happened. What's been going on? What's been going on in your life? Not much. You know, same old, same old. These are normal responses for people. Met anyone interesting lately? Not really. You know, same people over and over. No one interesting around here. Number 6, what are you doing this weekend? Nah, you know, same old thing, you know, just probably hanging out, doing nothing special. What do you think of this weather? Man, the weather sucks, man. Same weather, the rain, same weather, the sun, same old weather. Hey, did you like the ball game? It was all right, you know, no big deal. I can't believe those guys get paid the kind of money they get paid to do what they do. What's new in your life? Not much. Again, the same old, same old. Do you think that's how successful people talk? I'll promise you it's not. Do you think people with great attitudes talk like that? The person that you're talking about is mundane. All right, it's okay, nothing special. Then they wonder why their life's not exciting. Man, I want adventure in my life. I want excitement. I want to feel good. So where are you going to end up saying, all right, so-so, no big deal, nothing special, don't have any interesting people in my life? Your entire life, folks, your entire life is created by your thoughts and then by your language. Start using language that's different. Start using the language of highly successful people. Highly successful people are going to use language like, hey, how you doing this weekend? Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm going to have a great weekend. I'm going to use words like great, super, wonderful. Everybody try that. Great, super, wonderful. You know, did you have a good weekend? Man, it was an incredible weekend. It was a wonderful weekend. It was a super weekend. How was the ball game? It was an excellent game, man. These guys are getting paid $25 million to entertain me. You believe that? And I paid $40 to see the game. They're paid $25 million for $40. I got next to $25 million. See, I love that, you know. Those are great words. Hey, did you like surfing this weekend? Man, I love to surf. I had a blast surfing. The waves weren't great, but I had a blast being in the ocean. Use words like you got it. Whatever you want, I'll do it for you. Good things happen to me all the time. That's a great attitude. See, saying things like, everything works out to my greatest good. Somebody asked me once, anything bad ever happen to you? I said, never. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Great things happen to me. Everything always works out for me. All things go well for me. That's my self-talk. These are the things that I say to myself. Great, super, excellent, wonderful. I'm having a great time in my life. Great things happen to me. Nothing bad ever happens to me. What language do you use? That's the language I use. That language will change your attitude. The language you have is created by the thoughts you have. Change your thoughts, change your language, change your action will change your attitude to have a success attitude. So change what you think and then change what you say. The 8th rule to success, to building success in your life, is to be committed to personal growth. The more you learn, the more you earn. Show me a person learning something, I'll show you someone highly motivated, someone that's excited, and someone who feels productive. Even though they're not actually producing anything, the act of learning is going to give you the sense of being productive and therefore motivated. Pick up any book right now, any book. Go to any page, and I promise you, within 3 paragraphs, you will learn something you didn't know. Try it right now. Pick up any book anywhere. Anywhere you're going, pick up any book you have no interest in, and you will learn something from the book, and it will cause you some level of feeling better. Every time someone learns something, what do? They get excited. That's what they do. They get so excited, they got to go share their information that they know only this much about with someone else. Terrible for a person with 1 class of karate. They're going to get in trouble. So what happens when you learn something? Man, immediately you're like, hey, I didn't know that. And you get like, hey, I didn't know that. There's things I can learn. People come to my seminar. People, highly educated, very successful people come to my seminar, and within the first 30 minutes, they're like, man, I didn't know that. Which causes people to be in this, I didn't know that state, which means there's more for me to learn. There's a place for me to go. See, without goals, folks, you can't be motivated. Immediately when somebody gets information that's new to them, they want to share it with someone else, which is an exchange of information, which is production. When production results, morale goes up. Learn some more, you'll produce some more. The more you learn, the more confidence you have. You know, when I was 25 years old, I started learning. I've made a commitment for the last over 15 years now of learning as much as I possibly can. If you knew how many workshops, how many tape programs, how many books, and how much personal training that I've gotten, it would blow you away. All right? I read as many books, listen to as many tapes. I've become a learning machine. It's incredible to me how many people resist the fact that the most successful people are great learners, they're studiers, they're masters of their profession. Everybody on Wall Street reads every day. Insurance people read constantly. Salespeople, great salespeople, are masters at their art of selling. They don't take orders. They know everything between the greeting and the close. Everything there is to know about selling. People that do a great job of following their customers up, build strong databases, stay in touch with people, learn about their clients, learn about the client's motivation, learn about their clients' kids, their families, what's important to them. Highly professional, successful people continue to research their industry, their lives, any new technology and techniques. They educate themselves on new breakthroughs. Imagine a doctor not continuing to educate themselves, or a lawyer not educating themselves on the law. I want the best people around me, the best accountant, the best scientists, the best medical people, the best law. I want people highly educated. They hold hope for new information. Successful people hold hope for new approaches and new possibilities. They don't say, well, I've been in this business 30 years, I know it all. Nothing's changed. That's a bad attitude, folks. That keeps you capped out on your ability to produce. The most successful people in the world sign up for seminars first. A complete paradox. The people that don't need to sign up right away. The people that need it the most say they can't afford it. It's incredible. The least successful people sit on the back rows. The most successful people sit on the front rows and get the best seats. So learn from successful people. These are people that are always looking for learning opportunities. You know, my probably almost 20 years of being involved in consulting, I've never, ever met an organization, a great organization, that didn't have learning, education, research at its core belief. All great organizations, all great leaders, great managers. I don't mean the manager that can do it all themselves. I mean a manager that surrounds themselves with highly productive people, have learning, education, new technologies at their core. And some of that learning may not have anything to do with their business, but to inspire the people in that organization. All great people, all masters that you've ever studied, all masters have been great learners. In this country, there exists a tremendous resistance to learning because of what I believe are a number of problems with our learning systems. I remember being in school and having to study courses that I had no interest in. I was a terrible student for 17 years. From grade school to high school to college to getting an education in accounting and a minor in psychology, I was bored. I was falling asleep in classes. I had no interest. I was a mediocre to low, production student. And people thought that I had a learning disability. Truth is, I did have a learning disability. I didn't like to learn. I didn't like to study. I had no interest in the classes. I didn't see how it applied to my life. And for most of the time, I had misunderstood data regarding topics. What happens to a being when they misunderstand something? It means they don't know what we're talking about, so I don't feel good. I don't like to not feel good. You know, what happens when you're playing a game, let's say a game like chess or backgammon or checkers or gin or any game, pick a game, golf, and you're no good at it. You lose interest in it. You don't get better at it. In fact, you get worse at it. Why? There might be something misunderstood. Maybe somebody gave you the wrong data about how to learn. There were great reasons for my reactions in school. Here's a grown man now, in the business that I am, I look back and say, well, those people were wrong about my education. See, you thought it was because you weren't good at math, or you weren't good at science, or you didn't have an interest in history, or maybe somebody told you were dumb. No wonder you don't want to go to seminars. No wonder you don't want to go to a study course, because you've had negative experiences with learning. Any person that doesn't do well at something, and this is really for management to hear this, any person in your organization that doesn't do well at something is going to respond like a person that's dumb. Is going to introvert, pull out, withdraw. If I can't do well, I'm not going to lean into it. If I can't do well, I won't stay fully involved. Any person that can't win will not play with a full heart. Any person that cannot score, cannot win, cannot do well, will pull away. So you got to get a handle on this learning thing. Because if you don't learn how to learn, if you don't embrace grabbing data, knowledge, and using it, you will be left behind. First, this rule about learning, I've learned recently. If you hear something you don't understand, it's called a misunderstood word. Any word that you can't get a handle on, that you don't understand what it means, you need to get a true definition of that. Otherwise, you're going to lose interest in the course. You will show signs of being tired, bored, lethargic, possibly irritable, and maybe even want to blow out of the course. So never pass a word you don't understand. Have a dictionary with you. If you have to look up every word for a while, look them up. You'd be surprised how many little words, of, the, a, and, that we don't understand, that nobody ever taught us. So never pass a word, never stay in a conversation if you don't understand a particular word, because you're going to lose interest in the course. And then you won't do well. And then you're going to feel what? I'm not motivated. Then what? I'm lethargic. Then you're apathetic. And then you're dead. You know? Apathy is death. If you don't understand something, you're going to lose interest. When you lose interest, you become apathetic. Then you're as good as dead. Many of the words in our basic school system are just misunderstood words. That's why people have so many learning disabilities. They don't need drugs. The kid doesn't need Ritalin because he's not interested in the course. The kid needs a different education. The more interest you have in a subject, the more you'll want to learn the subject, right? So pick areas that you're interested in is a second really good thing for you to do. Sign up for classes, any workshop, anything that you're interested in, dancing, rollerblading, painting, selling, computers, anything. As an employer, you want to sign your people up for stuff they're interested in that might not have anything to do with your particular business, but it will raise the motivation and the attitude of the people around you. I guarantee you, with no reward for me, I guarantee you that when you expand your learning, you will expand your sense of security, you will expand your sense of ability, and therefore will feel more motivated and more excited about your life and your profession. Because the more education gives you a sense of being able to reach your goals. And we've said earlier, if you can't reach your goals, you're not going to be highly motivated. If there's no sense of I can get there, then what will happen is you'll withdraw. This is what creates a sense of security, the ability to reach goals. If you don't think you can reach your goals, you won't feel secure. Therefore, you won't feel motivated. Managers and employees should do training and education more often in shorter blocks of time. You should be doing 10 minutes every day, not 40 minutes twice a week. Go to the gym every day for shorter periods of time. Read shorter chapters in a book, not longer chapters. This is what I do in my life. Everything I'm telling you in this video, everything I do in my life. For instance, regarding learning, every day that I'm home, not working, not speaking to a group of people, I study for 4 hours a day. That won't happen today. But every day, I am now at a place where I can sit down with someone and start studying what goes on in my mind. I'm planning the next 50 years of my life, folks. What are you doing? I invest time, energy, and education to plan to map out the next 40 years of my life. Man, I tell you, it makes me feel great. I feel stronger, more positive. I feel younger, more vital, more, just excited about life than I ever have. My life is fuller today because of my commitment to learning. I read every day. My automobiles right now are filled with tapes. We went to lunch, I had to move some tapes out of the way. I go to at least 6 seminars, workshops a year that I can learn and grow myself. I've been to bad seminars, I've been to great seminars, I've been to ones that were almost a waste of time, I've been to ones that I would never trade the time that I spent there. I am a learning machine, I eat information. That's what I affirm to myself. Gives me a sense of being in control in my life. My learning validates my ability to control who I am, where I'm going, my life, and my sense of reaching my goals. So the rules of learning: commit first to learning. Never pass a word you don't understand. Add as much mass as you can to learning. If you're going to learn to ride a bike, add the bike to the learning process. That's called mass. Learn in gradients. Learn in small gradients till you get better and better. Study areas that you have an interest in. Study the same time each day. Commit an allotted time to learning each day. And go to at least one workshop every quarter. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. Take responsibility for all results. High performance, highly successful people take total responsibility for every outcome in their life. They never make excuses. They always look to themselves for being cause over a situation. They never blame other people or other things. You ever seen somebody hit their driver and they hit it right, sliced it real bad, and then they look at their club right away? Oh wow, what happened? What's wrong with my club? I've done that before, have you? And nothing wrong with the club, folks. Something wrong with your swing. Take responsibility. You can't change the club, you can change your swing. The only things that you can control are those things which a person is willing to be responsible for. Because if it's someone else's fault, then you're out of control. I am not out of control in my life. I control everything that happens in my life. That's one of my affirmations. That's my self-talk. Hey, I am in control of my life. Because if I'm not in control and you are, if you do something, a customer does something, an employer does something, oh, it was their fault. It was her fault. It was Bob's fault. That car hit me. It was their fault. Then you know what? I'm out of control. And I don't want to be out of control because then I become a victim of situations and I'm not taking responsibility. The only things I can control in my life are the things I'm willing to take responsibility for. Every sale that I have missed was my fault. Every complaint I have ever received from a customer, every unsatisfied customer I've gotten was about me. Every cold that I ever got, every sickness or illness I've ever got, I created. I know this is hard for some of you to imagine. Some of you are like, oh, no, hey, bad things happen to people all the time. That's not my reality. That's not my universe. If you choose for that to be your world, that's fine, but don't make me wrong. Every accident, car accident I've been in, where the police said somebody else was at fault, I created it, I was responsible. Oh man, Grant, you're getting carried away, buddy, I mean, somebody drops a bomb on a city, whose fault is that? You know what? We all create that somehow. Somebody authorized us to authorize someone else to create a bomb. I've been robbed twice in my life. I was almost killed once. I caused both of them. Both of them. Both times, I created it. There are no victims. There's only creators. Everything that happens to you, everything that happens to me, is because of you or me. I created it. It happened to me. I'm responsible. Once you get this success lesson, you will be on the road to massive success in your life. I think this is one of the great things that keeps people from really having success and happiness in their life, is the lack of responsibility. Everything that happens to you is because of you. Everything that happens to me is because of me. So quit passing it off, folks. Quit passing it off like it was your wife's fault or your kid's fault or your husband's fault or your employer's fault. It is your deal. Watch high performance people. Study about high performance people. Read high performance people, and you're going to see them say this: hey man, I'm responsible. You'll see people like Michael Jordan, you'll see Tiger Woods, you'll see the greats in the world track every statistic they have. Every time Tiger picks up a 2-iron, he knows whether it went left, right, short, long. Every putt they know about. Track your statistics. Track all your actions. Constantly measure yourself statistically. Measure your results and measure your actions. I remember as a salesperson keeping a log. Not a log on what I sold. I kept a log on what people said to me. I wrote down every customer objection that I would hear throughout the day and throughout the week. And I came up with new ways to handle them. This is one way, or one of the things that you could do to take responsibility as a salesperson. This is the way I handled all future objections. As a salesperson, you hear all the same objections over and over. As an employer, you hear all the same problems from your people over and over and over again. Different day, different face. Oh, my people just aren't productive. Why don't you track what's going on? Be responsible for your people not being productive. I own 4 businesses. I own a real estate business. I own a seminar business. I own a products business. I own multiple businesses. I own a consulting business that works with small business owners and large business owners. We're responsible. We take full responsibility. Somebody's not happy, it's our fault. Somebody's not getting production, it's our fault. Grant, that's not really reasonable. Yes, it is. That's the only thing I can handle. I have become so acutely aware of what I do to create things that I'm always in the posture of how can I fix it? How can I solve the problem? See, when a customer gives me an objection that I've written down 20 times, sooner or later, even an inadequate brain, a dumb person's going to say, I've heard this objection 20 times, I need to come up with a response. Then I get to what? I get to start relaxing with people, I get to handle them with good control. Speaking of control, folks, you either have no control or good control. Okay? You either have bad control, which is none, or you have good control, which is, hey, I'm in control of the situation. Some salespeople I know go on their whole career blaming customers. Employers I know blame their employees. Call their employees, they're bored or they're not motivated. Their customers are cheap and ridiculous, unreasonable. And all you do is find more people that are cheap and ridiculous, unreasonable. The employers find more people that are, not motivated and not excited and don't know their job. These same people could spend more time taking responsibility and less time blaming. So if you're a salesperson, go create an objections log. If you're an employer, why don't you create a log of complaints that your salespeople or your employees have? What creates these objections? What creates this state of boredom for your people? I get a cold, I start looking at what was going on for me. I get sick, hey, what's going on, Grant? You know what I found? Every time I've ever gotten a cold, I was stressed out, I wasn't eating healthy, I was traveling too much, I didn't have enough fun going on in my life, I was tired, overworked, I didn't have any balance. So what do? I get a cold for a week. And then the new age people think, well, you got a cold because you need to stop, you need to slow down. No, I need to get a handle on how I brought the cold into my life. I get a flat tire, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go look for the nail that I picked up, or I'm gonna change the tire? I need to get well, folks. And then I need to take responsibility. See, this puts me at cause rather than effect. I learned that if I eat well, if I rest well, I don't create colds. The common cold, you ever heard that? The common cold, everyone gets it. No, some people get it. I don't get colds because I take care of myself. I create colds. I don't catch colds. See the difference? I take responsibility. Once I know how to create a cold, then I know how to avoid them. My father, great man, my father died at 52 years old of a heart failure. How was he responsible for that? Young woman gets cancer at 34 years old. How was she responsible? My older brother gets killed. True story. My older brother gets killed on a gas well at 25 years old. I was 20 years old. At 25, he was dead. One night I talked to him, the next day he's dead. How was he responsible? Was he? Or did this just happen to him? Bad thing happens to good people. That's not what I believe. We make things happen to us. I was robbed at 23 years old. I was robbed again at 26. How was I responsible? Here's an intimate detail about me. 25 years old, I was in a treatment center for drug addiction. Did I do that? Or was that somebody else's fault? What about earthquakes and hurricanes? These major, terrible events that happen on the planet. Who's responsible? See, I believe in every situation that I just went over, the people involved or the mass consciousness that we've all agreed to creates situations that we experience. In every situation, someone's belief system, someone's daily habits, your surroundings, your lifestyles, your consciousness creates your life. My dad, for instance, my dad believed, as good a man as he was, he believed you had to suffer to succeed. That was his basic belief in life. He was a great man, a fun man, people loved being around him, but he believed to succeed you had to suffer. You can only go as far as you can suffer. What happens? His heart explodes at 52 years old, he's died, okay? He ate terrible, he smoked cigarettes, he was overweight, he didn't exercise, he was in a high-stress job, his heart says, pfft, and he dies at 52. He created that, he's responsible. A young woman's filled with anger her whole life. She stuffed all her feelings her whole life. She's lived with resentments her entire life. It starts eating her from the inside out, and we call it cancer. She's responsible. Hey, that's good news, folks. That's not bad news. Anger and resentment is cancer for every being on this planet. Both times I was robbed, I was in the wrong place. Both times, at 23 and 26, I was in the wrong place. I had money on me I shouldn't have had. It was too late at night. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I put myself in a situation I didn't belong in. When I realized I was addicted to drugs and alcohol at 25 years old, I went to a treatment center. The people told me, hey, it might not be your fault, Grant. There's research going on. There's a possibility that you were predisposed to a drug and alcohol addiction. You have a malady to this drug addiction. Hey, that sounds good, man. It was like, wow, really? It's somebody else's fault. Maybe it was the way you were brought up, Grant. Something happened to you in your childhood. Well, the truth is, you know what? I didn't deal with my stuff. Truth is, when you use drugs and alcohol every day, you end up with a problem, okay? I tried to escape life rather than dealing with life. I tried to blame you and other people in society and my parents rather than taking responsibility and escaping with drugs. I made excuses for my life. I checked out. I used chemicals to escape. You create a drug addict. I was dealing with tons of false data at that time in my life, feeling sorry for myself because of losses in my life and not dealing with reality. But what about hurricanes and earthquakes and, these cataclysmic things that happen that nobody could be responsible for. I think we're responsible. See, when you don't take care of the planet, it's going to start operating at different levels. The earth is a living organism, right? When we abuse it, it's going to start cracking up. When large groups of people, when millions and millions of people on this planet believe bad things happen, bad things happen. Fear evokes fearful events. Bumper stickers that are negative create negative events. We are responsible, each and every one of us. We are the problem and the solution. Man told me once, Grant, you're the problem, you're the solution. I'm like, wow, that's good, man. If I'm the problem, then I get to be the solution. If I'm not the problem, I can't be. So if someone else is to blame, then you can't do anything about it, folks. If someone else is to blame, then you're just a victim, and there's no such thing as a victim, even in the worst tragedies. The other larger problem with not taking responsibility is if someone else is to cause something, then I have no control, and I am at the effect, the disease of other people. So, be responsible. Never be at effect. Always be at cause. Be 100% fully responsible for every event, good, bad, mediocre, that takes place in your life. And statistically chart out what you're doing in your life to be responsible. Bad things happen to good people? Wrong. Good things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people. You create it. Belief becomes reality. Accept responsibility for everything in your life. Blame no one, and you will be guaranteed success at incredible levels. Always move forward. All successful people know this rule. Always move forward. Always move toward the target. Keep putting one foot in front of the other foot, and then do it again until you get to your target. See, intention, you want to write this down. Intention is 100%. Method is negligible. When compared to intention, you don't need method, you need intention. The higher level the intention, the more focused the goal, where you're going. Keep moving toward it, taking action, and you'll get there, folks. The method will show itself later. Recently I was in Toronto, Canada. There were no flights back into the United States, and back much less to San Diego where I am. In fact, the airlines, everybody for that fact, the whole travel industry was telling me, hey, you won't be going back until Tuesday, 5 days from now. Well, 5 days for me isn't going to work. I'm like, no, I'm getting to San Diego. So I say, okay, what do I do? What do I do here? I got this situation. I have intention to get to San Diego. What do? I move to my rule. Always move forward. Keep moving forward. Move toward the goal. Move forward. Don't stay put. Be at cause. Don't sit in your hotel room. Move forward. So I say, okay, if I want to get to San Diego, what do I do? Well, the flights, as soon as I get clear on my intention and I start moving toward it, the method shows itself. What do? I realize, well, they're still flying in Canada, so I get on a flight the next morning. I fly from Toronto to Calgary, get on another plane, fly to Vancouver. I start moving west toward my destination. You remember the saying? Go west, young man, go west. Well, I move in the direction of my desired goal. Staying put doesn't get me closer. I get on the phone. How far west can I get? I get to Calgary, then take a flight to Vancouver. What's incredible is everything opened up for me once my intention got right, okay? And it created an incredible adventure in my life, man, figuring out how I can move forward. It's like it's a game. How can I get there before 5 days? Finding myself moving toward my goal, my attitude gets up, I'm at cause, I'm totally responsible. Everyone suggested, stop, just take your time. Everybody in my life tell me, no, man, just relax, hang out in a hotel, go to a resort, just hang out. I'm like, no, it's a game now, man. I'm moving to the goal. I won't buy into what they say. Quit buying into what they say. People were saying, hey, you're insane with the situation the way it is. It's not even safe to fly right now. And I kept moving forward. In Vancouver, I rent a car. Great car, actually, they gave me. Interesting how the intention and the magic takes place. I drive through the U.S. border, where it's a 3-hour wait, because everybody's trying to do the same thing, and I'm gonna miss my flight to Seattle, okay? So what do? I asked the guy at the customs line. He's walking through, I'm like, hey, there's gotta be a shorter way, man. I have to get to San Diego. He said, well, there is. Now, there's thousands of cars lined up waiting 3 hours to go through customs, and this guy looks at me and says, hey, if you go 2 blocks, take a left, go to a street called 2nd Avenue, take a right, take another, your second left, then what you'll find out is there's a parking lot. You want to pull in there, you want to buy something in the store, and then they'll let you out, and it's a shortcut into the line. It was incredible. I went for it, and yes, it worked. I get to the border without my passport, but with all my intention. The custom agent's job is to check my passport. I get to him, tell him my situation. He lets me go through. Folks, this is not luck. This is not, oh, Grant's somehow blessed. This is about intention. And the good news is when you get your intention clear and always move toward it, toward your goal, lucky things will happen for you too. So I'm driving to Seattle, and what do? I hit the worst traffic Seattle's had in 6 years. Literally, it's on the radio. So worst traffic we've had in 6 years. So I miss my flight to Seattle. I make the connection in Portland, and I end up flying to San Diego. It takes me 22 hours to get home. I ran out of fuel on the way to the airport. Just in time, I get enough fuel to make my connection. So what's the point here? Always move forward. When you're moving toward your goal, there might not be time for stops. In this case, I had to turn my flashers on. I had to hit my accelerator. I had to break a few laws. You know, I hit the worst traffic the country's seen, or the Seattle marketplace has seen. I'm driving to Portland. I run out of gas. I'm short of the airport. Some lady tells me it's going to be 35 minutes to the airport. I got 20 minutes to get there. I top off my tank. The airport's 10 minutes away. It all worked out. Why? Because I'm moving forward. Had any time along the way, had I stopped and, you know, oh man, my situation's not going to work, I wouldn't have made the flight, okay? So I moved forward. And what do I find out? I find out people helping me in gas stations, the customs agent helping me with no passport, another person helping me with a shortcut. Great intention, always move forward, you'll reach your goal. So I fly out, I make it in 22 hours rather than 5 days. That's a big difference, okay? I get to the Hertz counter. I don't want to, you know, go to the Hertz van. I drop the car off. I give a guy 20 bucks to drive me over there. He takes care of me. Always move forward. Do not make excuses. In fact, I got to the airport in time to grab a bite to eat, to rest a few minutes, and call people and tell them, hey, I did it. Determination, intention, keep moving forward. Don't worry about the details, folks. Everybody gets hung up in the details, except successful people. Highly successful people don't worry about the details. They trust that the details will work out themselves. Too many people get hung up in the little pieces. Always move forward. Successful people don't let anything stop them. They don't let the odds. They don't let other people. They don't let problems, planes. Nothing stops successful people. So who could be successful? Anybody that moves forward to a clear goal. You'll figure it out. Pick a target. Pick a target and move toward it. You've already done this 1,000 times in your life, folks. When you were a little kid and you were in the grocery store and you were in the candy lane and you're like, Mommy, I want some candy. And Mommy said no. Mommy said no before you even said anything. She was telling you no on the way over there. You just kept moving forward with complete, you know, like determination. I'm getting candy. And she broke and you got your candy. Don't worry about what might happen. Just move forward and keep moving forward. Try this. Pick a place in the room that you're in right now, or in the car that you're in, okay? And just start moving toward it. Physically start moving toward it. Move toward the wall. Move toward the object. And then have some people come around you and try to stop you. If you're in the car, have them try to stop your hand, okay? Be safe in the car, all right? Make an effort to stop you. Be sure 3 or 4 people make an effort to stop you. And what happens? It clarifies your intention. It clarifies this energy about going for it. Staying focused. And the more people that try to stop you, the more you should focus on your intention. Make a game of it and win the game. Games exist when there's barriers and the possibility of gain or loss. You need that, folks. Great beings need to know, hey, there could be a lose situation here, and it forces you to push through. Watch your abilities increase as you move forward. Watch your abilities increase as your intention increases. Sometimes you won't see the depth of a person's intention until there is resistance. You won't really know how strong, how able, how capable you are until you see some resistance. So what do? Always move forward. You want somebody to go out with? Keep moving toward them. They resist you? Move toward them. Come up with a new way to approach them. You got a customer you're trying to, bring into your fold? Always move forward. Oh, that guy's not going to take your phone call? Make the phone call. Always move forward. You have a target you want to hit this month? Keep moving forward. You know, the country's having economic problems, always move forward. Focus on the desired goal, the desired outcome, and keep moving forward. The more energy, the more intention, the more determination, and the more you move toward it, the more often you'll get it, okay? Always move forward. Remember, AMF, always move forward. One of the rules of success is to have a prosperity attitude. Come to work to prosper. Do not, like you've been told, come to work to work. You don't want to go to work to work. You want to go to work to prosper. You want to go into your relationships to prosper. You want to go with your friends out to prosper, to do well. The only thing that comes from hard work and effort is a broken back. Come to work to prosper. There's a lot of false data, folks, that you've been living with, and one of them is hard work. Focus on prosperity, you get prosperity. Focus on hard work, and you get hard work. What you show up for, what you go into attention with, is what you get. Too many good people that you know work hard and never prosper. In fact, masses of people work hard for those that will prosper, because the prosperity thinker ends up prospering and has abundance in their life, and the hard worker works for the prosperity thinker. Come to work to prosper. All decisions that you make in your life should be for the greatest good of the most people. And that's a prospering idea. All decisions you make should be about prospering, to increasing flow, cash flow, friend flow, business flow, client flow. All activity should be about increasing flow in your life abundantly with prosperity, to improving your lifestyle for you, your friends, your community, for your business and others. So bring the commitment and decision to have prosperity in all your affairs. In relationships, with business, clients, friends, in all areas, bring prosperity. You get what you focus on. You know that to be true. Go for prosperity, learn about prosperity, read about how much there is rather than how little there is. You know, most people believe that there's lack. Masses, millions and millions of people on this planet believe there's not enough to go around. And the truth is, there's more than enough to go around. Most people in business worry about the competition, underselling themselves. They don't see prosperity. They don't see abundance. They worry about the one competitor 10 miles away or a block away, rather than see the limitless abundance in their universe. So what do? They miss the opportunity, they miss the abundance by focusing on the competition. Do you know there's enough money on this planet? Enough money on this planet for every human being to have $1 billion in net worth. Are you getting yours? If you're not, it's because you think in terms of hard work and limits, not prosperity. Look at the ocean out here behind me. Endless energy. It never stops. Go out there and get as much of it as you want. How many buckets can you take? Will there still be plenty of ocean? Absolutely. Look at the sky behind me. Is there plenty of sky? See prosperity around you, folks. I fill my yard up with palm trees and flowers. You know, it costs money to do that. But you know what? It reminds me that there's prosperity in my life. My refrigerator is filled with fruits and vegetables. There's a bowl of vegetables this big, a salad about this deep. I can go in there anytime and make a salad for myself with no effort. It reminds me of prosperity and abundance. I eat ice cream every once in a while. Refrigerator's loaded with ice cream. I come from Louisiana, where they do a sausage there that most of you would never eat, okay? I got 30 pounds of it in my refrigerator. I want prosperity in my life, so I remind myself by surrounding myself with it. Look how much money's in the marketplace. Count how many people own homes, have cars, pay their gas bills every month, and buy clothes. See prosperity everywhere you go and have it for yourself. Look at how much life there is around you. Look how many living beings there are around you. Look how many people consume oxygen every day, and our planet continues to go on. How many relationships do you know that work? That's right, don't focus on the ones that don't work. Let's focus on the prosperity in relationships. You know, Grant, 50% of all marriages end in divorce. Man, that's a negative attitude. What about the ones that work? If the planet focused on the ones that work, on how many people do pay their bills, on how much money there is in the universe, how good the economy truly is, how many people do get along, and the fact that most people get along, then we'd all have the attitude of prosperity, and we'd all have a lot more. So rather than worrying about everybody right now, let's worry about getting your head right. How many people are nice to you every day compared to how many people are not nice to you? How many people cut you off in traffic today? 1, 2? How many people did you pass? Thousands. See the abundance in your life. See the prosperity. See the prosperity. Do not see the limits. Work for prosperity. Don't go to work to work. Go to work to prosper. You want to share these ideas with your kids and with your spouse. You want to create a lifetime of prosperity and abundance in your life. Make an agreement with all the people close to you that you love, your friends, your family, your church, with the business associates, to claim prosperity in your life, folks. It's there for you. Go to work to prosper. Do not go to work to work. Have the attitude of abundance. Surround yourself with prosperity, whether it's loading up your refrigerator or filling your yard up with flowers. You know, 4 times a year I have new flowers put in my yard. Absolutely it costs money, but you know what? There's plenty of money on the planet. And when I run out of money, all I do is show up with a good attitude and somebody else gives me more money. You'll end up dying with more money than you need. That's prosperity right there. For those of you who are worried about your gas bill and your water bill and your house bill and your car payment, you know, you're worried about getting enough money to pay for your groceries, what you need to do is have the attitude of prosperity rather than the attitude of lack. As long as you focus on too little to go around, that's what you'll have. As long as you start focusing on the idea of prosperity, prosperity with my clients, with business, with employees, with opportunities, with air, with ocean, with life, with good people, then that's what you'll get in your life, and you'll live the life of a successful person with prosperity surrounding you. So have prosperity in your life. Consistency. All professionals, all highly successful people that operate at the top of their fields, the masters, are all consistent. Great salespeople are consistent. Great real estate people are consistent. Great investors are consistent. Great athletes are consistent. I asked a golf pro, I said, hey, what would it take to fix my golf game? He says, man, all you got to do is get consistent. With every club you have, get consistent. Same club, same swing. Same swing, different club. But be consistent, Grant. Professional, highly successful masters do the same things over and over and over and over again. They do it at the same time, with the same pitch, same level of enthusiasm, over and over and over. This is an incredible truth about all successful people. In fact, there's a lady that I know named Michelle. She's a highly successful person in my life, and I got to know her when she wasn't so successful. She was actually a waitress here at a restaurant here in La Jolla. And she was building her career. She wanted to quit being a waitress. She saw this opportunity in town where everybody kept asking her for directions as a waitress in this restaurant. And she went out and built this business around people asking her questions every day. So she started this business here in town where she creates a map guide for the tourists and sells advertising to the merchants. And she came to me knowing what I do for a living. And she asked me, hey, what does it take to make sure for sure that I'm going to be successful? And I said, hey, this is what you have to do. You got to go for it, and you got to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and keep doing it. Figure out your presentation, Michelle, and do it over and over and over. And when it doesn't work, make the changes and do it over and over and over again. You wake up at the same time every day, you're going to be more productive. She says, why is that? I said, because it gets consistency and discipline in your life. Work out at the same time every day. She's like, no, Grant, we're talking about my business. I said, okay, here's what you do. You wake up at the same time every day. You go to the gym the same time every day. You start calling on clients the same time every day. You end your day at the same time every day. And you end your day the same way every day. And you make your presentations the same way. She's like, well, me getting up at the same time every morning, how does that help me? Because it gets you consistent, Michelle. Consistency builds discipline. And the one thing that I see in people that want to be successful is they go for 2 or 3 days and then they stop. Consistency builds discipline. Disciplined actions done consistently create success. So quit making it up. Come up with a consistent, disciplined approach to your life. Lay your life out this week with some consistency. Start with today. When am I going to wake up? What do I do next? What do I do when I get to work? What do I do while I'm there? How do I call my clients? Get consistent. Quit making it up. Successful people do not change their approach unless that approach doesn't work. They only change to change with conditions. You got to get a consistent approach, and the way to start is to get consistent in your day-to-day operations. See, if a particular approach doesn't work and you keep changing it, then you're going to say, well, that one didn't work, and the last one didn't work, and that one didn't work. Nothing works. So you need to come up with an approach, be consistent with it, until you find out for sure what parts of it don't work. Pick any successful person. You know, multi-level marketing people, this is what they're going to tell you. There's some highly successful people in multi-level marketing companies. And they're going to tell you this. All of them say the same thing. Hey, you get a story and you tell the same story over and over and over and over and over again. Do not change the story. Change the people you tell it to. Don't change the story. Great leaders. Great leaders are great leaders because they're consistent and people can follow consistency. If I'm a leader and I'm not consistent, nobody wants to follow me. They don't know where I'm going to lead to. Great athletes are consistent. If I could duplicate Tiger Woods' swing or David Duval, if I could duplicate their swing identically, would I not have a better golf game? If I putted the way they putted, I'd make more putts. Well, Grant, I got my own swing, Grant. Hey, man, you need to give your swing up and go for the consistent swing, because our swing as amateurs is not consistent. Those people that are not consistent are left with random outcomes. And random outcomes you can't be in control of. You know, in my selling career, I just got highly consistent. I did the same things every day. In my life today, I try to wake up at the same time every day. I go to the gym the same time every day. I eat similar foods in the morning, in the afternoon, at night to get consistency in my life. Because when I don't have consistency, I get randomity, you know, random events that I can't control. So bring consistency to your life, to your career. Do the same things over and over so that you don't have to spend energy on creating what you're going to do next. See, when I go into a presentation, when I go into a seminar, when I'm doing this today, I don't have to put energy into what am I going to say to them. I get to put energy into my enthusiasm and my delivery, knowing what I'm going to say. Anytime I have to operate off the cuff and I need to go run and make something up, it takes energy away from me, right? If I was prepared to say, this is my presentation, I'm going to do the same presentation every time, I'm going to only change that presentation when it doesn't work or when conditions say I need to change it. And I'm going to change it and come up with something successful. If you're going to fly an aircraft from this city to the next city, folks, you're going to come up with a navigational plan and you're going to stay on track with it. You're not going to go, oh, let's go to this city now. Let's go over here. You're going to run out of fuel. And that's what human beings do in their life. So come up with consistency in your life, starting every day. Consistency will guarantee you success. What if I told you that I wanted you to go for failure? You'd say, what? I do seminars. I probably do 150 seminars a year in the country. Every time I say, hey, you got to go for failure. You know what people say? What'd you say? What'd you say, Grant? I said, go for failure. Well, what does that mean? I've never had one thing questioned more in my seminars than this one line. Go for failure. Why would I want to do that? See, you will always want to go for failure, folks. Failure is the doorway to success. A major CEO of a major company in this country was asked, what has made your company successful? This is a huge company. And he says, our willingness to fail has made us successful. A partner of mine in Orlando, Florida called Scott Morgan, we met about 6 years ago and we put a venture together. We're partners in a business. I said, I only have one piece of advice I want to give you, Scott. And that piece of advice is this: go for failure. Be willing to fail. And he's like, what? Fail, man. He's like, man, I've never failed at anything in my life. I said, then you're limiting the amount of success you can have. Without failure, there can be no success. You have to go for failure. Everybody wants to be successful. Let me just see a hand. How many people want to be successful? Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. How many people are ready to die? What do you mean? Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something. If there's a heaven, I'd like to go hang out there for a little while. I'm not ready to die yet, okay? I don't want to fail either, but I am not willing to not be successful. And the only way to get from here, where you're at, to success is through failure. You have to walk through the valley of death. You got to be willing to die, folks. You have to take the risk. You have to go for it. So how many places are you hanging out in your life? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be rejected by the girl. I don't want the guy to say no. It's his job to call me. I shouldn't call him. You know what, ladies? You need to go for it too. Not just the men. In our culture, men go for it much more often than women do. There's something socially said that men need to go for it, women don't. You're a human being. If you want your life the way you want it, go for rejection, go for failure. There was a young man getting into sales. He says, I don't know if I can handle sales. You know, I don't like rejection. I said, pal, being on this planet is going to be a problem for you, because you're going to be rejected. It's got nothing to do with selling. It's got something to do with being willing to fail in your life. being willing to fail at marriage, being willing to fail in a relationship, being willing to fail to fill up your bank account, being willing to fail with a client, being willing to fail with your dreams. You know, if you don't buy the lottery ticket, you can't win the lottery. Well, I'm going to waste $2. Yeah, you might win 50 million. The people that win the 50 million bought the ticket. And then what do you say? Man, I can't believe they've been buying tickets for 12 years. You believe that? No, what I can't believe is what they're going to do with the money, okay? Because they're probably not equipped to handle the money, so they're going to get rid of it again. See, you got to have the whole package to be successful, folks. And it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what your education is. But you do need a formula for success. And one of the great rules for successful people, they'll tell you this: hey, I was willing to fail over and over and over and over again. We're not talking about Richie Rich here. We're not talking about the young kid that is going to inherit his money. That's not success. Success is for the people that set a goal and go get it, fail along the way, and stay with it and get it. You cannot succeed if you're not willing to fail. In fact, the more times you fail, the closer you get to success. That's why it's critical that you keep statistics on your failures and your wins. How many times do I need to do this to get success? How many times do I need to call on a person to get success? How many times do I need to try to ski or snowboard to get success? You know, I went this past year, I went with a friend of mine snowboarding, and the agreement was there's about 6 of us that went. And the other people brought skis. And I said, you'll never learn to snowboard if you bring skis. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, my brother taught me this. I was trying to learn how to use chopsticks. He said, Grant, you'll never learn chopsticks as long as you got a fork and knife next to you. I'm like, what are you talking about, buddy? As long as you got a fork there, you haven't committed to the chopsticks. So I said, okay, take my fork away. You know, if all you had to eat with chopsticks, you'd learn to use them well. Would you agree? If all you had was a snowboard to get down off that mountain, you'll learn to use a snowboard. But the first time it gets tough and you fall on your face and you fall on your butt and you fall back on your face again, hit your elbows and fall back on your back and you get beat up, you're like, I'm going to get my skis, man. I'm going back to do something I know how to do. The truth is you're this far from learning how to snowboard. So me and her made a commitment. We're going to snowboard for 3 days no matter how painful it gets. First day, it was painful. Second day was terrible. Third day, she blew out, man. She's like, I can't do it. She's crying, tears going down. She's like, I can't go anymore. I'm like, no problem. She said, I got to ski. Truth is, I said, hey, don't quit now. Put the board back on one more time and let's see what happens. Let's go out there one more time. Let's make failure fun. Let's go get beat up together. Let's go get cold together. Let's rip up our suits together. Let's have fun and fail. And the third day, we got it. The rest of our friends, they didn't get it. They're going to have to go out this year and start all over again. By the third day, we were snowboarding so efficiently that everybody was in envy of us. All stories of people that are highly successful, have committed totally, and were willing to fail. You know, the Colonel, what's his name? Colonel, Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. You know him, the guy with the white hair and the white thing coming down? He made the sales call like 1,000 times or something before somebody picks up his recipe. He failed more times than he was successful. Look at Oprah's story. Man, what a case of success. Putting it out there over and over and over again. Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ. Make up your list. How many stories do you know of people that were willing to fail? There were endless. Tom Cruise was dyslexia, and he overcame his dyslexia to be able to read scripts, to become a major star in Hollywood. How many times have you failed? Forget about all these other people. What about you? How many times have you failed on this planet? When you were a baby, you fell. You bumped your head. You couldn't talk right. You know, you cried when you couldn't get food. Did you survive? Of course you did. You fell off a bike and you got back up. You fell off a horse and you got back up. You failed millions of times, folks, and you keep showing up. So change your head about failure. Failure is a good thing. It is not a bad thing. Failure is a great thing. Great people are willing to fail. In fact, it is admirable to fail. You know, when you don't make the sale, you should go tell people, hey man, hey, I lost that guy. I didn't sell the guy. I couldn't close the deal, right? Because you failed. You were there. You tried. You'll figure it out, folks. It's in the nature of a being to survive, to do well. We've survived for years. You know, somebody said, man, there's terrible things happen on the planet. Hey, worse things have happened on this planet and we survived. There was a time when there was dinosaurs on this planet. There's still life here today. We came back. You will always come back from failure. Fail more, not less. Do not believe the masses of people. Don't believe your teachers. Don't believe your parents. Don't believe your friends, your relatives, your neighbors. Do not believe your business associates when they say, don't fail. You want to fail a lot. You know, about 5 years ago, I started buying real estate here in town. It's been a dream of mine to own real estate, to own income property. And this very professional, very astute real estate guy in town that I was working with to buy property here told me, hey, Grant, there's nothing else to buy. Everything else is a bad deal. The town's been bought up. There's no more deals. I got another partner, and I kept buying real estate here. Okay, in the last 4 years that he said I couldn't buy anything else, that it wouldn't work, the property didn't work, I'm going to tell you, when everybody else said there was no more opportunity, I was willing to fail. It ended up changing my life forever. It's good to fail, folks. It's good to fail. I said, Rudy, let's go out and see how many properties we can't buy. Because that's what he was telling me. There's nothing left to buy. Good, let's go see how many we can't buy, Rudy. Let's get in the game, because I'm willing to fail. Are you? Failure is the doorway to your success. If you are willing to fail 100 times more than you were yesterday, you will get 10,000 times more success than you got yesterday. So be willing to fail.